At 10 o'clock, I'm Paul Rasmussen. Shaler Township Police and other law enforcement agencies are involved in a police incident in the 1400 block of Anderson Road. In a social media post, police say the perimeter of nearby Shaler Area High School is secure. There's no immediate threat to the school. Screening procedures are in place there, and Shaler police are asking the public to avoid the area near 1400 block of Anderson Road. The 23-year-old who opened fire on Catholic school students attending Mass at a church school in Minneapolis left behind disturbing writings and posted a video manifesto to YouTube. CBS's Anna Schechter has more.
Those videos show ammunition, weapons with hateful writing, almost like kind of a catalog of different demographics to target. So it's actually been difficult for investigators to pin down the exact motive because this was a very disturbed person who glorified past mass shooters in those writings, as well as glorified acts of violence against children.
Robin Westman scrawled, "Kill Donald Trump," and "For the Children" on magazines of ammunition. Westman, who identified as a transgender woman, killed himself at the scene. A safety expert says people are missing the mark when discussing solutions to gun violence. On the Big K Morning Show, Sam Rosenberg said people should be taught how to spot indicators. Rosenberg said nearly all mass shooters suffer from a character disorder and do not take responsibility for their actions.
And they look at the world through the lens of themselves being a victim, and they feel justified in their level of violence to get their message across.
Rosenberg said intervention is a must when someone who sees violence as the only solution to their problems is identified. The man behind Juneteenth events is suing Mayor Ed Gainey and the city of Pittsburgh. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has the story.
Attorney Joel Sansone, who is representing William B. Marshall, said the Gainey administration hindered Marshall's festivals.
Mr. Gainey turned his back on his constituents and the people that elected him by trying to take over the Juneteenth celebration from B and Margo and to give it to his wife's friend, a woman who had no experience putting on a festival like this or something of this size.
In a statement released by the mayor's office, it states in part, the city firmly denies that Mr. Marshall's civil rights have been violated. Mr. Marshall has encountered challenges with the execution of his events due to problems of his own making, not due to bias or unfair treatment. The lawsuit accuses Gainey and the city of retaliation in violations of the First and 14th Amendments. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Charges have been filed after Wednesday's fatal hit-and-run incident in Fayette County. Police say Stephen Lemrow drove away after hitting an elderly woman at the intersection of Morgantown Street and West Church Street in Fairchance. Surveillance video caught the car on camera, a silver Chevrolet Cabriolet. 70-year-old Paula Silvis was flown to a hospital where she died. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 60 points at 45,502. The NASDAQ is down 2 points, and the S&P is down about 6. KDKA Sports, the Cardinals and Pirates finished their series this afternoon in St. Louis. Pre-game coverage on KDKA radio starts at 1:20. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or just want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. KDKA radio news time 10:03. Time to call One Health Benefits at 724-799-8873. Find out how the Inflation Reduction Act impacts your Medicare plan. 65, partly cloudy in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and the AccuWeather forecast next.
You've waited, and it's here. The biggest Labor Day sale ever at Levin Furniture and Mattress. Shop this week. Save not 15%, not 20, but 25% off store-wide, plus savings up to 65% on door busters. Leave your wallet at home as my friend Robert Levin and his team provide special 5-year financing. No money down on qualifying purchases of $24.99 or more. The final days for amazing savings at Levin's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Check it out.
Have you been to Piata Italian Street Food, Pittsburgh's new favorite fast casual restaurant? Come try a hand-rolled piata, fresh chopped salad, or tossed pasta like their carbonara. A comforting bowl of creamy Parmesan Alfredo, tomatoes, crisp pancetta, fresh spinach, and Parmesan. With 4 Pittsburgh locations in Oakland, Northway, South Hills, and North Fayette, there's a Piata near you. Piata Italian Street Food. Better food fast.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
Hey, what's up is we still have plenty of delays left in the rush hour, depending on where you are traveling. Parkway West is one of them, although it is starting to ease off a bit. You're still backing right around that Parkway Center Mall on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels. Parkway East inbound is slow for you at Edgewood Swissvale. We do have a lot of congestion on the North Shore Expressway, so coming off of Route 28 and exiting for 279 South, you are in solid traffic. Lots of stop and go there approaching the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Also coming from Route 65 toward the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Watch for lane restrictions on that span and on the approaches around daylight. Bridge inspectors, they'll be working there till about 3 p.m. Bridge inspection also happening today until about 3 p.m. on the Smithfield Street Bridge downtown and the Tarentum Bridge between Tarentum Borough and New Ken. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM at AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will feature a mix of sun and clouds. There can be a gusty shower or thunder shower in spots this afternoon, the high about 70. Partly cloudy and cool tonight, though 50. Times of sun and clouds tomorrow, the high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-240-1465. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now, 800-240-1465.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-240-1465. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-240-1465 or oxcarcare.com.
It's the Big K Big Three.
Brought to you by New Flow Men's Health. The biggest 3 stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I was thinking the first time I saw a dead body from a crime scene, I was 22 years old. I was in Wichita Falls, Texas. Homicide detectives took me over to an area of all bushes, and there was a woman who was dead in black and blue and swollen. She'd been there several days. And the sickening feeling. I was thinking of the first time I saw somebody shot and killed live. And as morbid as that sounds, in this business, we do see that. Same town, 21 years old, live on the air in a hostage situation inside a house. And a man walks out the front door of the house with his wife and his kids behind them. He puts a shotgun at his chest and he blows himself away live on air. He goes up into the air and comes down. First time I saw a mass shooting scene with bodies, Edmond, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, right outside of where I worked my second job, still in my 20s. And I'm sitting there thinking of the horrifying impact it's had on my life as those images and the screams and the blood on the floor and the ground echoes in my head night after night, day after day. And I'm thinking of those kids yesterday. Kids shouldn't have to hear gunfire like that, man. Kids shouldn't have to see dead bodies. It's tough enough when grandma dies or grandpa dies, and you take him to a funeral home and you have to explain what that is. What is in that casket? Is that grandma? It's tough. And to imagine that they had to hear that. And then they heard the gunfire and they thought it was fireworks. And then they saw kids laying on top of them covered in blood. And then bodies carried out. And the screams and and the death and the destruction. And the horrifying fact that you got to get up and go to school again. And you don't know if you can without your blankie or your bunny. What the hell are we doing here, man? And then we start the blame game, right? Whose fault? Gun industry. He had a rifle, a shotgun, and a handgun, never broke the law. Not one black mark on his record, not one. Can't stop that. So what's your plan then? Ban all guns. That ain't happening. So we can't blame the assault rifle this time, which is usually a likely suspect. And I'm not saying I support them, but I'm suggesting that we don't know. In the notion that we should have been watching him, how the hell would you have watched him, this suspect? Who the hell knew him? No one, apparently. Didn't live with his mom or dad. Never even heard about his dad. He went to that school. Okay. Came from a divorced family. Okay. Get in line. If these are the ground rules. Never, ever admitted to a mental hospital. No record of any of that. No record of serious meds. Okay, as a manifesto that he released before he's dead. How does that help us? I heard Raz say AI. What the hell would that have done? Found the video after everyone's dead, and he's dead. I don't know. And now we want to blame. I got this meme this morning with a list of how many? Hold on, I'm going to count this. Because we always want the boogeyman. We want to blame someone. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mass shooters, and the 8 actually, and the meme suggests that 8 mass shooters are a transgender. So now they're the bad guys. Let's beat all them up and throw them in jail if we can. I hate to ruin your rage moment against folks who are transgender, but you know there have been nearly 300 mass shootings this year if you count 3 or more victims. And if you're saying that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are transgender, oops. You know, the rest of them are. The vast majority of mass shooters, and I suggest you do your own research, they're white guys, younger, upper middle class. Go back to Columbine. And as Patrick suggested this morning, if we throw out the gang shootings, then you have 200 mass shootings in a 10-year window. About 80% are white guys from upper middle class white families. What are we going to do about that? Half of them are divorced. Oops. Today's boogeyman. Last week we wanted to blame Hispanics because there was a drunk driving death and the driver was Hispanic. Okay. There were 14,000 DUI deaths last year. 0.0001% were illegal immigrants. Who's the boogeyman? Well, in this case, this boogeyman is this suspect. And this video that he posted is creepy as hell. And I want you to listen to this and hope that maybe we can garner something from this. And maybe the man in the mirror can determine maybe it is on me to find out who needs help. Listen to this.
Here's my note to my family. Wow, some English writing. Wow. Hope you can read that. Peace, love, unity, and guns. 9mm. Tomorrow. I'm sorry to my family. But that's it. That's the only people I'm sorry to. Those kids. Watch my 9mm go bang. I'm the woker, baby. Why so curious? Where's your gun now?
He's handling bullets while he speaks. A lot of bullets. High-powered. giving the finger to the camera.
Skibbity Riz.
Walking to another room.
Scum gang.
Laugh like the Joker in the Batman movies.
The big boy. Rip and tear.
Now he's showing his guns.
That's the big one.
Various things he wrote on the shell, canisters.
Laugh and love.
Names of various mass killers, including Robert Bowers, Tree of Life. Ted Kaczynski then says for the children on one of them. In other words, these bullets are for the children. The F word on some of them.
And this one's for me, in case I need it.
References to Hispanics. Attacks on them. Let's take a break. Talk when we come back.
Listen to The Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg with your Lowe's weekend weather update. A nice start to the holiday weekend Saturday in Pittsburgh with some sunshine and a high of 72. Mostly sunny Sunday, high 76. Labor Day looks sunny, the high 80. This Labor Day at Lowe's, shop member-only doorbuster deals for a limited time. Save $50 on an Ego string trimmer, now $169. Plus, get 50% off select Holland pavers. Valid through 9/1 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms, subject to change.
Having a tough time paying your bills? Learn how to reduce your credit card debt to a fraction of what you owe. Call the Debt Helpline now for free advice. 800-329-9912. 800-329-9912.
So, an older woman in her 80s with cancer, it's a true story, reached out to me a week and a half ago. Poor thing, her roof is collapsing. I mean, literally collapsing. And she has a baby pool in the house to collect water. And NASCO Roofing is going to put a new roof on our house. It's that kind of company, man. It's that kind of service. It's that kind of commitment. NASCO Roofing. Labor, fantastic. Pricing, fantastic. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000.
Get ready for a Pittsburgh tradition this fall. The 42nd Annual Family House Polo Match presented by FNB is back. Saturday, September 6th at Hartwood Acres. Experience the thrill of professional polo. Stroll through a vintage car show. Enjoy food trucks, live music, kids' activities, tailgating, and more. Bring your friends, your coworkers, clients, or the whole family. Kids 12 and under get in free. It's a day of fun to help provide safe, affordable lodging for patients and families. Learn more at familyhouse.org/polo. See you on the field.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right. Thanks, Marty. As we've been looking out around the area roads, we do want to remind folks who are traveling in Beaver County that you have bridge cleaning that's happening on the Shippingport Bridge at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. weekdays. This is through Tuesday, September 2nd. Obviously, there will be no work per PennDOT on the 1st. That's Monday, Labor Day, but do watch out for the crews elsewhere around those days. We certainly have some delays still for you as you're coming across the Fort Duquesne Bridge. This isn't bridge cleaning, it's bridge inspection. And it's impacting the ramps from 279 and 65. So you have clogged traffic on the North Shore Expressway and on 65 southbound heading across that bridge as well. Parkway West on the inbound side stacks for you right around the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
So I talked to John Perry over the weekend from Perry Calder Law Firm. John has doctors on his staff to investigate medical malpractice cases. John has the biggest settlements at Perry Calder of any firm in this region. John has the track record. John sits down with families. He's met with my friends and my family members on cases. Perry Calder, 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200. Perry Calder.
Hi, it's Lynn Hayes Freeland. You know, 90th anniversaries are a big deal. That's why AARP is joining forces with Social Security to celebrate its 90th anniversary. So what does that mean to you? Well, there are going to be free events throughout the area where you can win some prizes, learn more about Social Security, and find out what AARP is doing to help you. So how do you get more information? It's real simple. Go to aarp.org/local.
As an athlete, I'm all about performance and my overall health. I've wanted to improve my smile for a while, but I thought braces was the only option. A friend of mine mentioned she was improving her smile with Invisalign, so I checked out with my local orthodontist and found out that Invisalign could work for me as well. After a quick scan, my orthodontist created my Invisalign plan, and I couldn't be more excited to start. Check out Invisalign.com to find a doctor in your neighborhood. It's great that there are trained Invisalign doctors in our own community here. Invisalign.com.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The right wants to now, they want the boogeyman today. Today the boogeyman's trans folks or mass shooters. Again, Matt, in case you can't listen, turn up your hearing aids. 300 mass shootings in a year. I have 6 that might be trans-related. Might be. So this notion that everyone who's trans is a mass shooter is a bald-faced lie. It's the same argument you made last week with all Hispanics, illegals, kill people in drunk driving incidents because one guy killed one person in a drunk driving incident. Not dismissing that horrible incident, but suggesting there were 14,000 DUI deaths last year, and the vast majority were white guys like you. And the vast majority of shooters, Matt, are white guys like you. In rural areas like where you live in Greensburg. Just saying. So when's the last time you said, all my white friends might be mass shooters? Instead, today you choose that the lefties support trannies and we have parades for them instead of putting them all in mental hospitals. Why does the left celebrate this one particular kind of mental illness? They need treatment, not flags or parades. Transgender folks, my man, if you did a little research rather than the rhetoric, suggest that they're 6 times more likely to be victimized, have their ass kicked, or beaten to death than to become a criminal. Just saying. Not defending the fact that this guy killed these poor kids. Not defending the fact that he's suffering from mental illness. But suggesting that this whole notion that the new boogeyman is trans folks is a bald-faced lie. When we decide who the boogeyman is us. In this myopic view of, oh, now all trans people are criminals. Oh, all illegals are criminals. We already moved on from all blacks are criminals. And then the day when my grandparents came from Italy, it was all Italians are criminals. And all Irish are drunks. Right? Right? And all Jews are cheap. When does it end? I don't know. But today's boogeyman is the trans guy. Okay? That's your boogeyman. And look, with all due respect to the Catholics who say we got to put a cop in every Catholic church, okay. But let me give you some of the locations of mass shootings. This is just a few on the list. Schools, sure. Churches, yeah. Malls, oh yeah. Airports, sure. Post offices, get it? Gone postal. Office buildings, army bases, airports, hospitals, daycares, banks, restaurants. Tell me where there hasn't been a mass shooting. And we can go from there. Folks, we got a problem. And the problem is the man in the mirror. Not trans folks or transgender folks or blacks or Italians or Irish. It's the man in the mirror. Failing to recognize, A, the man has a problem, or my kid has a problem. My son has a problem. And the inability of our culture to establish what the problem is and how to address it. Instead, we hide from it, run from it, find another boogeyman, because we're afraid that we may be the boogeyman. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I'm first on. Thanks, Marty. Yeah. I was listening to a San Francisco Giants Chicago Cub baseball game from San Francisco last night. Now, if we tying this in a little, if we got back to the Polo Grounds, if it was still standing, along with Wrigley Field and Fenway in the original Yankee Stadium, and playing afternoon baseball games, it might be a better thing for America if that game was played yesterday afternoon at the Polo Grounds or Wrigley Field instead of at night in...
No idea what he's talking about. I have no idea where he's going. Maybe he wanted to call ESPN. I have no idea where that was headed. And if there's some translation, sir, that has something to do with this American tragedy, you lost me at hello. No idea what the hell he's talking about. We're trying to wrap our arms around something horrible. And let me read this from one of my boys. Just texting this, my chest tightens. And I feel like my insides are going to shake loose. What about these little kids? This is where we should focus, as we can help them. And all the other rhetoric solves nothing and will change even less. From over 40 years ago, I'm haunted, excuse me, by the two little kids I found shredded by a drunk driver. And the mother and her two little kids burned up in front of me due to a tree fire on a Christmas Eve. The man in the mirror we need to focus on. You need to talk to your kids. This guy needed to talk to his mom. Someone had to know. But how many of you say, man, that kid's depressed. I hope he's okay. I'll be fine. Leave him alone. He's in his room. Can't do anything up there. Blame guns. Blame trans folks. Blame blacks. Blame Irish. Blame Mexicans. Blame illegals. Or look in the mirror and say, what the hell's going on in my life? The drama that I can address in my kids' heads or my own head before we start saying, you're the boogeyman. I'm cool with it now. And by the way, we cannot put a cop everywhere in the world, on every bus, in every school, on every airport. We can't. We have to fix this some other way.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend. Oh, my God.
Planning a vacation can be fun, but don't get taken by service fees and processing fees. SWAC Vacations lets you book direct. SWAC owns its own properties. The price you see is the price you pay. Michael Bartley here. My friend Jeff is the owner of SWAC, and you can trust you're going to get the best deal possible. That means more money for your family trip to Myrtle Beach, a luxury lodge in Deep Creek, or that massive Outer Banks house with room for everyone. Book direct. Save at SWACvacations.com. That's SWACK Vacations.com.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
65 and partly cloudy at 10:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Shaler Township Police and other law enforcement agencies have been involved this morning in a police incident in the 1400 block of Anderson Road. In a social media post, they say the perimeter of nearby Shaler Area High School is secure. There's no immediate threat to the school, where screening procedures have been in place, and Shaler police are now asking the public to avoid the area of the 1400 block of Anderson Road. Authorities are focusing on the gunman in Wednesday's deadly mass shooting at a school in Minneapolis. CBS's Anna Schechter says Assumption Catholic School was no random target for the 23-year-old killer.
The shooter was actually a student at the school previously, and the shooter's mother had worked there for a period of time. So the shooter absolutely knew the church, had even drawn a sketch of the church, so really knew the exact makeup of the building that the shooter was attacking.
Robin Westman was carrying 3 weapons, posted a video manifesto to YouTube during the attack, and left behind disturbing writings. Westman identified as a transgender woman and killed himself at the scene. There was a stabbing this morning at a Northside bus stop near Giant Eagle. First responders were called to the area of Cedar Avenue and Presley Street just after 6 a.m. One person was taken to a hospital, condition unknown. We now know what will become of at least one former Rite Aid location. Sheetz is coming to Banksville Road, its first Pittsburgh store. City Council member Teresa Cale-Smith made the announcement on Facebook. Another new business is also coming to Banksville Road. Aldi is opening a store where Staples was located. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 84 points at 45,481. The Nasdaq down 2 points now, and the S&P is down 8. KDKA Radio News Time, 1031. Our next update at 11. I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Wondering why your meds cost so much, even with insurance? Or maybe your pharmacy shut down, and now you don't know where to go. I'm Kyle from Blueberry Pharmacy. We do things differently. No insurance needed, no surprises. Just the real cost of your medication, plus a small, transparent dispensing fee. It's called Cost Plus Pricing, and it's how pharmacy should work. Anyone can use us with or without insurance. We ship across Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Florida. Call 412-612-2279 or visit blueberrypharmacy.com. Blueberry Pharmacy, Pittsburgh's only 5-star pharmacy.
When it's cancer, life gets complicated. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team guides you through. Appointments, expert specialists, emotional support, done. Because at AHN, we see you. Visit ahn.org/cancer team. When it's cancer, AHN knows. Life takes a village. Cancer takes a team. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team gets you the support you need. An expert care plan, financial guidance, emotional support. Visit ahn.org/cancer team.
Hey, it's Marty. My boys at Coit are so proud of the success they have with July savings that they've extended the sale. I love this. Save 50% off drapery cleaning and 40% off all other Coit cleaning services. Full service drapery cleaning, unmatched, takedown, cleaning, and rehanging your drapes. Call Coit right now, 1-800-FOR-COIT, 1-800-FOR-COIT. 50% off drapery cleaning, 40% off all Coit services. I love Coit.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. PNC Supply. In-app only.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, we have fluctuating traffic on a couple of the area roads, and then we have some delays because of bridge inspection work. We'll start with that, and it's certainly causing traffic troubles for you if you're coming from the Parkway North, from Route 28 or 65 southbound toward town. We have bridge inspection crews working until 3 p.m. today on the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge, and as they do that, enforce lane restrictions on the approach ramps and on the lower deck. You are finding very, very heavy traffic there. Please do leave extra travel time if that's part of your route. Parkway West on the inbound side has delays that greet you right at the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels. The Parkway East inbound is slow for you right around Edgewood Swissvale as you approach the Squirrel Hill tunnels. No major traffic troubles behind the Liberty tunnels, just traffic light delays on 51 and 19. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A mix of sun and clouds for the rest of today. There can be a gusty shower or thundershower in a couple of places this afternoon, the high 70. Cool tonight under partly cloudy skies, low 50. Times of sun and clouds tomorrow, high 73.
Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
All right. We went through a period where we were going to blame all former Marines for mass killings and shootings. Seriously. Timothy McVeigh comes to mind. I spent a month in Oklahoma City at that scene. And then we were blaming his father and his upbringing. Seriously. And then we decided, because, that was a bomb made from fertilizer, then we decided that we were going to make all fertilizer illegal. That was the plan. We always find a new boogeyman. Today it's all trans people are mass shooters. Okay. But what we can't figure out is how do we find this out before the mass shooter becomes infamous or notorious? And I'm thinking of the first mass shooting I recall, and I was young, man. It was that guy that went in the Texas Tower. Former Marine. Oops. Killed his wife, mother, in their homes, and then went on a shooting spree in a 286-foot tower. Killed 11 people, wounded 31 others. Charles Whitman. And then I remember the first time I was shot at by a mass shooter. Tulsa, Oklahoma, a guy in a tree. He was firing a high-powered rifle at a bunch of us. I was behind a truck. State police came down in a helicopter and killed him in the tree. Why am I telling you this? His issue, bad childhood, abuse. So then we became, kids that are abused are mass shooters. Okay. At some point, we got to figure out how to identify the boogeyman before the boogeyman becomes the boogeyman. I always have to go to my friend, the smartest man I know, for the wisdom of what the hell do we do about this, Ron, to try to find these shooters before they shoot. Ron Layton, good morning, sir.
Marty, good morning. Thanks for having me back on KDKA.
Yeah. Where do we go from here, sir? I mean, there's...
Marty, it's foretelling that you mentioned Charles Whitman. Charles Whitman, 1966.
Yep.
He was actually on the research list of our current shooter.
Whoa.
So one of the things that we learned and we talked about yesterday, we did not have a crystal ball, but we talked about he likely went out and researched all of these other shooters. Now, we know today a lot more because we were able to get access to the manifesto. We were able to look at that video, but Charles Whitman was one of the first individuals that he researched.
And what are they drawing from that? I mean, what's your inspiration, motivation, what?
Well, here's the thing that's hard for all of us as Americans to wrap our head around. We are trying to attach some level of rationality to things that are completely irrational. So they don't make sense to us. And so we find out that all of these shooters are falling into this pattern. And as much as law enforcement has done, And I would point you to three agencies. The FBI has a group called the Behavioral Analysis Unit, BAU.
Okay.
The Secret Service has a group called the National Threat Assessment Center that specifically focuses on school shootings. That's the National INTAC. I commanded that unit. And believe it or not, the DOE, the Department of Education, they've done great work. The majority of the work, as you've talked about and we've concentrated on, is on the prevention side. Like, what do we do? How do we stop it before it happens? Because we can't protect everybody. We've got 535 members of Congress. We can't protect all of them. How are we going to do every school?
I find the search for the boogeyman to be rather intriguing because the target changes. Today we all hate trans people because now they're all mass shooters, when in fact they aren't. The truth is, there's no way in hell, no way, no AI, no supercomputer, no agency in the world would know this guy was about to kill a bunch of people. Would there be, Ron? No chance, sir.
So Marty, so it's a good point. So let's dig into the reason why you wouldn't know. The majority of I called them tripwires yesterday. I want to stay with that theme.
Yeah.
All of the federal agencies that I just mentioned, when they come up with this behavioral pattern, kind of a cataloging of things that these kids do prior to shooting, they all do research. They all are, in a way, they're kind of copycats because what they're doing is they are learning from everything that everybody else did, which is why we got to worry about the next one, of course. So the point is that all of those things, all of the crazy posting online, it's all legal. So the point is all of the tripwires are likely going to have to be noticed by people in the particular shooters, in their ecosystem or in their friend group. It's kind of like when this stuff happens in school and it's a 9th or 10th grader that loses his or her mind. Every kid knew that there was something going on with that kid.
Right on.
All of them knew.
It's on us.
So they knew, and there's not one police officer that knew that. So there's a tendency now, and this is a good idea, you got to take a multidisciplinary approach. So it can't be just the cops. By the time the cops show up, you're already pulling triggers. Then it's quote unquote too late. Then we've got to talk about response time, and everybody is saying, well, I got to get a gun, all that kind of stuff. But if we stay on the side of prevention, and again, it's everyone in that close friend group who knows something. And so that's where we need to likely start to spend much more of our resources.
To which I would add this, though, and this is the fact. They can't help everyone, and every mom and dad has concerns about their kid, and he's just going through a phase, and he'll be fine, and yeah, he's depressed, but teenagers get depressed. Yes, he's transitioning, and the medication has affected his mood and temperament, but he'll be okay. And then we're on this notion that we got to protect all schools. Okay. Churches? Sure. Malls? Why not? Airports? Sure. Post offices gone postal. Office buildings, army bases, airports, hospitals, daycares, banks, restaurants. The list don't end, brother, does it?
Marty, I'm glad that you phrased it that way, because what you just did, you just made the argument for a person saying, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get a gun.
Right on. So half of Americans say give them a gun, the other half say take the guns away.
Exactly. That's where we are.
And gun control didn't have squat to do with this, brother. He had no history. None. 0 arrests. And you can't blame the AR or the AK. You can't. Because this is a handgun, a shotgun, and a rifle. Who doesn't have those? Just saying.
You can't blame them. One of the arguments, though, that I would make humbly is that I saw the video. So from the bullets, I could identify the weaponry. A 9mm, which is the pistol, that bullet goes 800 miles an hour. That other bullet that he had, those were .223 rounds, the same rounds that I carry to protect the president. Those rounds go 2,300 miles an hour. So the point is, the increased lethality with some of these weapons are vastly different. And so what some people are going to say is that you want a pistol, fine. But there are certain classification of weapons that no one needs. And that's another area of significant division.
Okay, fine. I'll buy a bunch of fertilizer and blow the hell out of the federal building. I don't need your damn guns. You know what I mean, Ron?
No, exactly. Because so what we're trying to do is we're trying to strike a balance between responsible gun ownership and keeping the guns out of the hands of the people that shouldn't have them. But when you don't come up on a list as someone who should be prohibited because you've got mental illness or you've been locked up, it becomes very difficult. And now we're having this conversation.
And here's this. You can take all the federal agencies and all the AI and all the guys listening and you want, but here's what's going to happen. Oh, you're listening to my teenager's phone calls. Oh, are you now? Where did you get that permission? Well, man, we think he might have some disturbing videos. Door slam. Get the hell out of my life. At some point, Americans say, stay out of my life. I'll take care of my business. Right? Right?
No, I think that point has been made for the last almost 100 years. It's always been, that's why we so cherish freedom of speech. That's why it's so hard to be able to say what you said was wrong. I don't like it, but it is constitutionally protected. And by the way, as I said before, most of these things, even though they're harsh, they're terrible to hear. That video could have been done by Stephen King. It was awful. But the point is, most of this speech is free speech. So now are you going to have the cops everywhere? First of all, there's not enough cops.
Right on. And let me say this, too. I have a close friend who's a horrible alcoholic, in danger of dying and hurting himself or someone else in a car. And we're not close friends, but I've gone to at least 20 of his friends saying, hey, man, someone needs to do an intervention. And guess what they say? I ain't doing it. The other guy says, I'm not doing it. The other guy says, I won't do it. What's my point? Every kid, every single damn kid I've ever known says, hey, Dad, that kid's got problems. Well, let's talk to him about it. Let's talk to the mother about it. Nah, we better not. They'll take care of it. That fear.
Marty,
I ain't messing with that attitude.
And here's the other thing. A 15-year-old kid will say something to somebody, and they'll just say, look, that's not our business.
Right on. That's what the cops told me about intervening.
That's right.
Intervening on another cop who could kill himself on the road tonight.
Exactly.
Hey, before you go, I understand that hearing from children following this is emotional, but I got a problem with TV reporters interviewing children on camera. Do you?
You know, I don't like it, and I'll tell you why. In your business, Marty, the old thing that I think you actually taught me, like if it bleeds, it leads.
Yeah.
I don't like that because what you're doing is you are continually subjecting that child to that trauma.
Yeah, I'm messing with it.
Bad enough when you're an adult. I don't.
Even if mom and dad agree. Yep.
No, shoving a microphone in a 10-year-old's face, no. There's something inherently and intuitively wrong with that.
No, you're right. Thanks, brother. You're the best.
Marty.
It's horrible stuff. Ron Layton. Amazing. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center. AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
Focus as you try to get into downtown comes as we look at the Fort Duquesne Bridge lower deck, getting inspection crews there until about 3 p.m. today and again tomorrow. And this is happening also on the ramps with lane restrictions coming from 279 and Route 65 toward the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge, causing lots of heavy traffic, especially as you come between I-279, Route 28, and the lower deck of that bridge, the North Shore Expressway, as we call it. We're also seeing heavy traffic on the southbound side of the West End Bridge as folks try to avoid that area. No avoiding the delays on the Parkway West. They back you at the top of Green Tree Hill, and you'll line up on the Parkway East solidly at Edgewood Swissvale. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Return to the magic and mystique of the Renaissance. The Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. This weekend, August 30th through September 1st, is Kids Free Weekend. Kids 12 and under are free. Filled with royalty, pageantry, jugglers, and musicians. Comedy, games, fine arts, and crafts. Eat, drink, and be merry at the Pittsburgh Renaissance Festival. And kids are free. Discount tickets available at pittsburghrenfest.com.
The best breakfast the best French toast I've ever had in my life, and that's a long life. The thick cut French toast, cinnamon bread, bananas, strawberries. Whoo! Oakmont Bakery. Unbelievable breakfast. Plus, the breakfast sandwiches are absolutely insanely good. Open 7 days, 6 a.m. Delicious.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I got these windows in my house that need replaced. And you want to talk about timing? Huh? You got spring here. You got this insanely cool window company, Universal Windows Direct. And this is their home improvement season. What's that mean? Great windows, great product, great service, great pricing. How about this? 50% off your windows right now, half off. You can upgrade your home with beautiful, energy-efficient windows for half the cost. So, what do? 412-545-6003. I'm doing it. And you get no interest and no payments for 12 months, which is spectacular. A whole year. And a free entry door with your window purchase. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003. Universal Windows Direct. Love them.
Folds of Honor has been meeting sacrifice with hope since 2019 in Western Pennsylvania. It's their honor to empower people through education and the opportunities it creates. 41% of Folds of Honor scholarships are rewarded to minorities, making the recipient families as diverse as the country we call home. Folds of Honor has earned the Gold Star Platinum Seal as well as a 4 out of 4 stars ranking on Charity Navigator. You can become a Folds of Honor wingman today at westernpa.foldsofhonor.org. Please donate today. Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville is a proud supporter of Folds of Honor.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Darren from Nevada asks, I want to maximize Roth contributions as much as possible. However, I make just enough money to put me outside of the threshold to make Roth IRA contributions. If I max out traditional contributions to my 401k, it would lower my AGI, and then I'd be eligible to make the Roth contributions. Or should I forget about the Roth IRA and just stick to my Roth 401k option? Well, Darren, I think you might be overthinking this. Instead of trying to lower your AGI to make a Roth IRA contribution, focus on maxing out the Roth 401k.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote renter's insurance at progressive.com.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I don't have the answers to any of this stuff. I really don't. The only thing I can say is, and I mean this in the nicest way, that I have issues with my kids, I have to sit there with my wife and say, how do we approach this? Patrick has issues with his son, who's a teenager, and they all have issues. How do I approach this? And with this guy, where's mom, dad? Where's any friends? I don't know. But to suggest that it's up to the cops, there's no friggin' way, man. There's no footprint in the sand. There's nothing, man. There just isn't. And you want to go online, you want to find hate, go to my social media page. I've had at least 20 people in the last couple months, because we've been posting videos about major issues downtown, threaten to kill me. Now, does that mean they're killers? I don't know. Are they planning to kill me? Hell if I know. But it's ubiquitous, brothers and sisters, and it's the man in the mirror, not the boogeyman. Go ahead, Nick. Thanks for holding.
Personally, Marty, there were footprints in the sand. Anybody, and it's just me, that's born a man and wants to become a woman has mental issues.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
So 75% of the mass shootings, 75% are white males, guys like you. What's in your past that made you that angry? Oh, silence from Nick. So what Nick did was perpetuate the stereotype. What he's saying, that anyone that's trans is a shooter. It's a lie. It's a bald-faced lie. Looking for the boogeyman. Nick, what's your issue? You're a white male. Makes you angry, puts you on the list. The vast majority of mass shooters are white males. Just saying. Blame trans people today. Tomorrow it'll be someone else. As I told you, Timothy McVeigh was Marines. Then it was Vietnam vets. Seriously, man. Then it was members of the gay community. Then it was illegals. They were raping, killing, and murdering. Remember that? The boogeyman. Look in the mirror, Nick. Might see something that scares you.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
My niece was getting engaged, and look, I took her to the spot. I took her to the place where they take care of you like family. Diamonds Direct. Whew. By the time she left there with her fiance, they were crying with joy. The thing is, from the time you walk in the door at Diamonds Direct, they embrace you like family. Would you like something to drink? Would you like champagne? Would you like a snack? I'm serious about this. What do you want to look at? Oh, this? Sure. How about that? Sure. It's a very, very personal, very, very intimate experience. Guess what my niece and her fiance did? They bought their engagement ring and just last week, their wedding bands from Diamonds Direct. It's an amazing, amazing business. Right across, right at the entrance to Ross Park Mall. Perfect location, Route 19. Check McKnight Road. Check it out.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
68 and mostly cloudy at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Shaler Township Police and other law enforcement agencies are involved in a police incident in the 1400 block of Anderson Road. In a social media post, police say the perimeter of nearby Shaler High School is secure and there is no immediate threat to the school where screening procedures are in place. Shaler police are asking the public to avoid the area. The 23-year-old who opened fire on Catholic school students attending Mass at a church school in Minneapolis left behind disturbing writings and posted a video manifesto to YouTube. CBS's Anna Schechter has more.
Those videos show ammunition, weapons with hateful writing, almost like kind of a catalog of different demographics to target. So it's actually been difficult for investigators to pin down the exact motive because this was a very disturbed person who glorified past mass shooters in those writings as well as glorified acts of violence against children.
Robin Westman scrawled, "Kill Donald Trump" and "For the Children" on magazines of ammunition. Westman, who identified as a transgender woman, committed suicide at the scene. Could yesterday's mass shooting in Minneapolis have been prevented? Well, security expert Sam Rosenberg says the solution to stopping gun violence is educating people about warning signs from a person who could commit an atrocity.
Particularly the eyes and ears of our society, people like teachers, people like parents, how to spot the warning signs that someone could be heading down a dark path and get them the proper intervention. And intervention does, in fact, work.
Rosenberg also says organizations need to train people what to do in the event of an emergency and have the right security measures in place. In his words, it's good to have lifeguards, but you need to know how to swim. Longtime Juneteenth event organizer William B. Marshall is suing the city of Pittsburgh and Mayor Ed Gainey. Attorney Joel Sansone alleges the mayor withheld funding and services and delayed permits for Marshall's events.
The festival was significantly damaged by the actions of Mayor Gainey. Some of the sponsors were very reluctant to get involved because of the fear of no police protection or because of the controversies involving the permits. And so we're hoping to reestablish B's reputation among all of those people and to make the Juneteenth celebration even stronger.
The city denies Mr. Marshall's civil rights have been violated and says the Gainey administration remains committed to working with all community partners who engage in good faith. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 79 points at 45,486. The Nasdaq is up 67 points and the S&P is up 3 points. KDKA Sports. The Cardinals and Pirates will finish their series this afternoon in St. Louis. Pre-game coverage on KDKA radio starts at 1:20. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick, 45 years of experience and thousands of five-star reviews. Trust PJ.com. And by Supplemental Medicare Solutions from Need Part C. Medicare can be confusing and doesn't have to be. Visit needpartc.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:03. Time to call ABC Transit at 724-831-8500. Now hiring CDL and van drivers with signing bonuses paid. 68 and cloudy in Pittsburgh. Now AAA traffic in the AccuWeather forecast next.
You'll always get quality product and tremendous savings at Coons Market. Isn't that right, Frank Dentisi?
Right, Rob. Save with your Coons Reward Card. 80% lean fresh ground beef, $3.99 a pound. Whole seedless watermelons, $3.99 each. And plain or wavy essential everyday potato chips, 9-ounce bags, 2 for $3. Additional savings in our meat department. Ready to grill ahi tuna steaks, $9.99 a pound. Meaty, tender St. Louis style spare ribs, $2.99 a pound. In our produce department, locally grown sweet corn, $4.99 a dozen, and 1 pint of blueberries or 1 pound of strawberries, 2 for $6. In our deli department, fully cooked pulled rotisserie style chicken, $9.99 a pound, and made fresh in store Coons potato salad, $4.79 a pound. And this week, selected varieties of Coke, Sprite, or Dr. Pepper, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 3 for $15.
So get in on the tremendous savings you'll find every day at Coons Market. Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
I'm Ultimate
I'm a Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text Firm 66 to 32 32 32. FIRM 66 to 32 32 32. Firm 66 to 32 32 32. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
Well, Marty, what's up is we continue to have a whole lot of heavy traffic as you're trying to use the North Shore Expressway this morning. And this is because of lane restrictions around bridge inspection crews who are doing daylight work until 3 p.m. today and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow. They're on the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge and also can restrict traffic coming from I-279 and from Route 65, Ohio River Boulevard, as you come down and around across the North Shore Expressway. It's especially heavy between 279 and 28 and the Fort Duquesne Bridge, so leave extra travel time there. Also be prepared if you're thinking of using the West End Bridge as an alternate. That is heavy too, as folks try to use that to get around the delays on the Fort Duquesne Bridge. The Parkway West on the inbound side headed for the Fort Pitt Bridge inbound, and the tunnels just slowing for you right around the runaway truck sand pile and your lineup on the Parkway East at Edgewood Swissvale. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A cool afternoon for this time of the year with sun and clouds. There can be a gusty shower or thundershower in a small fraction of the area, the high 70. Partly cloudy tonight, though 50. Partly sunny tomorrow, high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Hey, this is Lisa. You'll only find me at Nest Expressions Window Fashions in Wexford. Blind shades, shutters, and draperies are my passion. Call me 724-933-5500, nestexpressions.com.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
It's disheartening at best when you look at numbers regarding folks with mental illness who can't get treatment. And I'm going to throw some numbers at you, then I'm going to go to the man that I trust more than anyone in this country with this sort of information. About 15.5 million Americans have severe mental illness. 15.5 million. And an even higher number, which is astounding to me, but not to my guest. Nearly 60 million Americans suffer from mental illness. 1 in 5. How about that? And of those, so you understand this going in, this whole notion that mentally ill people want to kill someone, they're much, much greater threat of harm to themselves than to other people. But let me say this. If right now someone called me and said, my son has severe mental illness and is suicidal, homicidal, it would take me several days, maybe longer, to get to him into a facility. It's just the truth. And it's so hard to connect the ideations and manifestations of an angry teen because they are out there in droves to a guy's going to buy guns and kill everyone they see. It's a heavy lift, and I had to go to the man I trust more with this information than anyone I've ever known, Dr. Tim Murphy, Congressman Tim Murphy. Good morning, sir, on this somber day. How are you?
Morning. I'm well. Hope you are too.
Well, you think about this stuff at a higher level, and you hear this sort of news. How do you react as a doctor, as a father, as a member of the community who cares about people? How do you react, sir?
I react in terms of a preventable tragedy. I think there's going to be a lot more information that comes out about the shooter that tells us he had an extremely troubled life. This family of origin had a lot of problems. There were probably attempted to be addressed by mother, maybe by some school personnel, or I don't know if he was in school or homeschooled, but that he couldn't get the help or he refused help. Many times when they reach the teenage years, they don't want to get help.
Right on.
And then it's hard for parents to get them into help. Says, I don't want help. And you had mentioned if someone is suicidal or homicidal, well, as soon as someone threatens to kill somebody else, then the police can get involved, and then they can take them at least for a hospital evaluation. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stay there, because they can say, no, I was just kidding, I'm not going to do anything, and then they're released. Something really important, because people always raise the question, well, how can someone like this buy guns? Well, because the law says that if you have an involuntary hospitalization for mental illness, your name goes on this national list, the NICS list. And on that list, then, when you go to buy a firearm, they check to see if your name is on that list. If your name is on the list, you can't get a gun. If your name is not on the list, you can purchase a gun. So what some people do is they just say, well, I will voluntarily admit myself, or I'm just going to get out of here. So I think we'll see a lot more trouble in this young man's life and his family, his brothers, sisters, whatever. That indicates there are a lot of issues here. But what are you going to do?
Hold on, let me jump in here, because you said something really important about access to information. So, and I've known Tim for years, and he knows my family. So we had to, just for my daughter, Chloe, as she went to Pitt, we had to go to a lawyer and get paperwork so that if she gets sick as hell and goes in for emergency surgery, if we call and we don't have that paperwork, they're going to say, we can't tell you. So to Tim's point, sir, this kid was in his 20s. His parents didn't have the right or access to that knowledge, to that information, do they, sir?
No, they don't. That's the HIPAA laws, the Health Information Portability Accountability Access Act that says you can't have that. And actually in Pennsylvania, a lot of that begins at age 14. Now, 14-year-old can't really do much of anything, but they can begin to restrict parents' access, and then parents wouldn't know. And that's very troubling, because if he was in a hospital, if someone was in a hospital and they needed to know the background history, if you're hospitalized before, you're on medication or anything, kid could say, no, first time, I'm fine. But a parent could be able to describe a lot more information. So wait a minute, we have a troubling history. Now, in this, too, there's also history nobody knows, but people are responsible. We're seeing clips here of what this young man posted on YouTube.
It was creepy. It was creepy, brother.
Violent.
Oh, my gosh.
Using a strange voice and other things that I think we'll see there, a lot of indications of severe mental illness coming out. And by the way, a lot of that emerges between ages 14 and 25. But what happens here is that why didn't someone report it? You see something, say something. But some people look at those videos, they may have a number of reactions. Some people thought, this is stupid, he's just a jerk. Some people may think it's funny and laugh because they have a sixth sense. But some other people might have been scared. But
and hold on, and I hate to interrupt you, but this is all very important. I love this content. Those videos weren't to be posted till the shooting happened. So no one even saw this crap. This insanity.
I wasn't aware of that. That was part of his manifesto.
Yes, sir.
Well, he was preparing things. But either he was a real loner, didn't have friends to talk to about this, or someone had some sense. I want to read you a list of what the United States Secret Service came up with.
Please.
This is information about the profile of these mass shooters. First of all, most of the attackers had exhibited behavior that elicited concern in family members, friends, neighbors, classmates, co-workers, and others. And in many cases, those individuals feared for the safety of themselves or others. So they're going to interview a lot of people to find out. Number two, many attackers had a history of physically aggressive or intimidating behaviors, evidence of prior violent criminal arrests or charges, domestic violence, or other acts of violence towards others. We don't know if he's had this. They said he hasn't had a criminal record, but we don't know what's happened within the context of his family, with his parents or estranged parents, whatever that is. Number three, half of the attackers were motivated by grievances and were retaliating for perceived wrongs related to personal, domestic, or workplace issues. I think we'll find that in this case. The next is most of the attackers used firearms, and many of those firearms were possessed legally or possessed illegally at the time of the attack. In this case, he may have been legally. Next, 1/4 of the attackers subscribed to a belief system involving conspiracies or hateful ideologies, including anti-government, anti-Semitic, anti-religious views. This is present here. Many attackers experienced stressful events across life domains, including family and romantic relationships, personal issues, employment, legal issues. In some cases, attackers experienced a specific triggering event prior to perpetrating. And then the last one is over half the attackers experienced mental health symptoms prior to or at the time of their attack, including depression, psychotic symptoms, and suicidal thoughts. So some of those are present here.
So as I said when I started this morning, it's the man in the mirror. It's on us to do this. But I would pose this question to someone who's seen this 10 times in his life, and so have I. How many people that I know that have drug and alcohol problems, that are anxious or depressed, that I just say, oh, man, I don't know what to do, what to say. I hope they work through it. Right, Tim? Right, Doc?
Well, yeah, that's people do. But if you find that person also has some ideas and talks about, I hate my ex and I'd love to see her dead or him dead, or doing other things, a lot of people say, I really don't want to get involved.
That's right.
But because I don't want to feel bad about this. But how bad do you feel the next day when you find out children were killed because you didn't say anything?
No, it's true.
And that's a guilt you can't erase.
And Tim, this whole notion of let's protect every school. My man, I got a list of schools, churches, malls, airports, post offices, office buildings, army bases, airports, hospitals, daycares, banks, and restaurants. We can't put cops everywhere, brother. There's no way, Tim. No way.
No. There's a lot of people that go to church with a gun in their pocket.
It's so damn true.
Or the place like that, too.
And how often have you had patients who said, damn, they need help, but I can't get it for them? How often, sir?
Well, that happens a good bit, particularly for those with serious mental illness.
That's
right. And it becomes one of those things if, maybe President Trump's listening to your program right now. And I say, Mr. President, there's a number of things you can do. In my past legislation, I created a position called the Assistant Secretary of Mental Health. That position was eliminated in this year. And the whole mental health aspects was merged into a whole big healthcare thing. Now, there's a value for that, but the problem is, you mentioned 20% of the population at any given time is dealing with some mental health disorder, mental illness disorder. And many of them will do well. They get very well. They get therapy. They get treatment. But the problem with this is a huge part of the population. 2% of our nation are veterans. And of that, we have a multi-hundred-billion-dollar organization to help them through their problems. But for this 20% of the population, we haven't got someone coordinating those efforts. So number one, bring back the position. Number two, when Johnson was president, they said a hospital can't have more than 16 beds, a psychiatric hospital. Take that crazy level off. Let hospitals be big enough to provide quality care.
Is that still in place? Is that still in place?
It's still in place. Still in place since the 1960s. Also still in place is, in terms of Medicaid, Medicare, it won't pay for more than 14 consecutive days in a psychiatric hospital. Now, here's the thing. Let's say someone is admitted to a hospital. Yeah, still. Say someone is admitted to a hospital where they have a number of drugs in their system. You got to wait a week or two to get those drugs out. You have to try new drugs, and it can take a couple weeks for new drugs to take effect. And work with that person on therapy and get them housing and discharge. That could take several weeks, but Medicaid says, no, you got to get out of here. So if that person may be discharged and go to another hospital, but then you have problems with continuity, they can't get their records. Here's another one. Lifetime limit on total days is 190 days.
What?
Now, 190 days. So a schizophrenia, for example, is a chronic illness. You'll be in and out of treatment. But we don't put a cap on cancer, on heart disease. Why would we do this? So these are all done by the system that says, if we put caps on these, we won't have these huge institutions anymore and won't cost as much. But it was never based upon what do people really need.
It's amazing.
And so I'm thinking, wow.
I got to.
President Trump, you want to do something? Change.
Listen up. Listen up. This is brilliant stuff, and I'm so grateful to you, man. You shine the light, brother. We won't stop. Thank you, sir.
Carry on the fight. Let's go.
It's amazing. Wow. So you hit the limit. Doesn't matter. I'm schizophrenic. Too bad, sir. Go home. Wow. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, what's up is we have some slowdowns on northbound 28 as you're approaching the Etna bypass area, and also as you are going across the 62nd Street Bridge there through Etna down toward Route 8. Keep in mind that we do have some crews doing some shoulder restrictions on ramps that come from Route 28 to various exits. The Etna exit number 4, the ramp toward the 62nd Street Bridge where we just mentioned that congestion, also at the Highland Park Bridge and the Delafield Avenue Bridge. Those crews are working 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. again today and then also tomorrow, so keep that in mind. Elsewhere around the commute, it's very heavy on the North Shore Expressway, approaching lane restrictions for bridge inspection on the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Parkway West inbound is easing off considerably, just a little bit slow right around the Banksville on-ramp, and the lineup on the Parkway East is between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
This Labor Day at Lowe's, shop member-only doorbuster deals for a limited time. Save $50 on an Ego string trimmer, now $169. Plus, get 50% off select Holland pavers. Not a rewards member? Sign up for free today. But hurry, Labor Day doorbuster deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/1 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
Having a tough time paying your bills? Learn how to reduce your credit card debt to a fraction of what you owe. Call the Debt Helpline now for free advice. 800-329-9912. 800-329-9912.
There are things in this world that are just a bad combo, like a leftover salmon lunch bowl and the office microwave.
What is that smell? Is that fish? Oh, man.
You know what's actually a smart combo? Upside cash back with your credit card rewards. That's right. With Upside, you can earn an average 8% cash back at restaurants in Pittsburgh, like Arby's, Applebee's, and Pizza Hut. The best part? You can combine Upside with your credit card perks and loyalty programs. It's like double dipping your rewards with an extra side of cash back. Download Upside, and for a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first restaurant meal with promo code PIT101. That's promo code PITT101 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. See why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. Next time you need a break from the break room, choose the smart combo with Upside. Don't forget to use promo code PIT101. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
Carlos is my man from Greater Pitt Tree Service. I mean, we're good friends. He's done trees in our yard, trees in my neighbors' yards, trees in family members' yards. Why? Best in the business. Best pricing, best labor, best professional service I've ever seen in my life. He's on a job right now, and he does free jobs for World War II veterans. Amazing, amazing man. Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-TREE. You've waited, and it's here. The biggest Labor Day sale ever at Levin Furniture and Mattress. Shop this week. Save not 15%, not 20, but 25% off store-wide, plus savings up to 65% on door busters. Leave your wallet at home as my friend Robert Levin and his team provide special 5-year financing. No money down on qualifying purchases of $24.99 or more. The final days for amazing savings at Levin's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Check it out. Get Marty's brought to you by UPMC. Life-saving, life-changing information.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, so all morning you've been hearing our news folks who have been killing it in terms of delivering this news about Shaler. So here's what happened. I just confirmed. And unfortunately, it's kind of along the lines of what we're discussing here with folks who are having mental issues or unstable. So, a mom calls 911. She has a son who's a juvenile, and she goes into his room, okay, and there's a gun on his bed, a handgun, and mom grabs the gun. This is what's happening right now in Shaler. Why the school's on lockdown? Why there's teams of police officers, SRT teams there right now. So mom calls 911. Son had a handgun on the bed. Mom says, "Give me the gun." The juvenile, according to my sources, says, "Give me the gun or I'll be dead." Okay? Mom grabs the gun. Again, mom grabbed the gun. The juvenile grabs a backpack and runs into the woods behind their house, which is near the school that's on lockdown. So you understand this. They don't know where the juvenile is. They don't know. They searched the woods with canines and drones and did not find the juvenile in the woods. Okay? They do not know if the juvenile had another gun, and they're unsure if he had access to any additional guns. The juvenile has an arrest record, not with Shaler. By the way, Shaler police could not have handled this better. This is what we call magnificent police work. This is what we call magnificent police response. And this is what we call a mother who cares desperately about her son's safety and the safety of others. The son does attend that school that's on lockdown. There is no threat at this time to the school, none. In fact, we are told now that traffic is allowed to drive past the school. They do not know where the young man is. They do not know if he had access to other weapons or has another weapon. And it's a horrible, tense, ridiculously stressful situation where a mom calls 911 worried about the safety of her son and what's happening. If we get any other information, but this kind of lays out what Dr. Murphy and the congressman was talking about, right? Kids in stressful situations that may or may not have mental illness issues, that may or may not have access to a weapon. To go into your son's room and mom sees a handgun on the bed, my God. And she grabs the gun, God bless her. I can't imagine how terrifying this would be. And the young man says, "Give me the gun or I'll be dead." Thank God mom took the gun off that young man. We will stay on top of this. As this changes, we will, of course, let you know. Awful.
Most people have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. This invisible threat is house stealing. Con artists pick a house. They transfer the deed of this house into their name by obtaining the forms, using the fake IDs, and filing the paperwork with proper authorities. Now they own the home. Protect your home from this invisible gap. Check on your home's title right now at HomeTitleLock.com. Be sure to use promo code RADIO, and they will send you a complete title scan of your home's title. And your first 30 days of triple lock title protection is free. HomeTitleLock.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 68 and mostly cloudy. At 11:30, I'm Paul Rasmussen. Authorities are focusing on the gunman in Wednesday's deadly mass shooting at a school in Minneapolis. CBS's Anna Schechter says Assumption Catholic School was no random target for the 23-year-old killer.
The shooter was actually a student at the school previously, and the shooter's mother had worked there for a period of time. So the shooter absolutely knew the church, had even drawn a sketch of the church, so really knew the exact makeup of the building that the shooter was attacking.
Robin Westman was carrying 3 weapons, posted a video manifesto to YouTube during the attack, and left behind disturbing writings. Westman identified as a transgender woman and killed himself at the scene. A local pastor is calling for stronger security in schools after yesterday's shooting. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has that.
Father Tom Berg, pastor of St. Joachim and Ann Parish in Elizabeth, says the Pittsburgh Diocese is leading the way with providing armed officers at its schools.
The officers have such a great rapport with the kids and the faculty and the staff and the parents. It's just an extra security blanket and extra comfort, even as a priest and as a pastor that says Mass for our school kids. It's a nice little reassurance. Hey, somebody's there to help me.
Father Berg says during this time he will comfort his school children by informing them to remain vigilant. Every day should be a good day and be hopeful. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 95 points at 45,470. The Nasdaq up 45 points now. The S&P is down about 2. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:31. Our next update at noon on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
If you're thinking about retiring soon, be sure to tune into the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors, Saturdays at 1. Beth talks about the latest trends and headlines that could impact your retirement. Don't go into retirement unprepared. Listen every Saturday afternoon at 1 to the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors. Firm offers insurance services. Net Worth Advisors, LLC, is a registered investment advisor.
As an athlete, I'm all about performance and my overall health. I wanted to improve my smile for a while, but I thought braces was the only option. A friend of mine mentioned she was improving her smile with Invisalign, so I checked out with my local orthodontist and found out that Invisalign could work for me as well. After a quick scan, my orthodontist created my Invisalign plan, and I couldn't be more excited to start. Check out Invisalign.com to find a doctor in your neighborhood. It's great that there are trained Invisalign doctors in our own community here. Invisalign.com.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your free consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Have you heard of Piatta Italian street food? At Piatta, you can indulge in a bowl of creamy carbonara pasta or be healthy with a fresh tossed salad like their farmer's market with grilled salmon. Or roll up the delicious flavors of Italy in a Piatta. A wrap toasted to order and hand-rolled with fresh, authentic ingredients. With 4 Pittsburgh locations in Oakland, Northway, South Hills, and North Fayette, there's a Piatta near you. Piatta Italian street food. Better food fast.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA traffic powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen, what's up?
All right, Marty, as folks are traveling through McCandless, would want to watch out for arcing wires and the crews that are tending to them. This is on Peebles Road at the intersection with Duncan Avenue, so busy kind of intersection there, a little bit busier because of the presence of those crews, so leave extra travel time there. You'll definitely need some extra minutes as you try to make your way southbound on Route 28 to the North Shore Expressway and coming across to the Fort Duquesne Bridge. Bridge inspection lane restrictions there are certainly causing delays on the North Shore Expressway coming from both 279 and 65. Northbound on 28 through the Etna bypass. Watch for slowdowns right now and also very sluggish crossing the 62nd Street Bridge toward Butler Street. Parkway West inbound is backing for you right around the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will feature a mix of sun and clouds. There can be a gusty shower or thunder shower in spots this afternoon, the high about 70. Partly cloudy and cool tonight, though 50. Times of sun and clouds tomorrow, the high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-240-1465. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-240-1465. 800-240-1465. Or go to oxcarcare.com.
Once again, so you understand, update on that developing situation in Shaler. Here's what happened. School's on lockdown. Cops are all over the place. Folks didn't know what happened. Here's what happened. A young man, a teen, juvenile, his mom goes into his room early this morning. She sees a gun laying on his bed. Mom grabs the gun. The son says, "I'll be dead if I don't have that gun." The son grabs his backpack, and leaves and runs into the woods behind. Shaler police doing amazing work. SRT team on the SWAT team, in essence, on the scene. They searched the woods with a drone and with canines. The boy is not there. The school is safe. They don't know if the young man has a gun, another gun from another place, and they're looking to determine that. But right now, that's the situation. And here we have another situation with a young man who's obviously upset and access to weapons. Thank God his mom gives a damn and pays attention. And I hope this all works out. Meantime, yesterday, two of my favorite people on earth, Kim Ward, Republican, Jay Costa, Democrat. I love them because they care. I love them because they lead, and that's hard to find that combination today. They both do it. Listen to Kim Ward yesterday. Then we're going to grab Jay Costa. Listen.
This crisis, SEPTA, the board of the transit authority there, this is a self-imposed deadline that they set to try and get everything they wanted by leveraging our babies. And, next week, that's on them because we sent them a bill, and even the governor now has said we can use funding from that mass transit trust fund.
It's true.
We can use it.
It's true.
SEPTA is even, they're open to it. It was always there. And as much as they keep saying it, when I read it, I get so frustrated because some journalists keep reporting that's for projects. It's for capital projects.
No, this is
money.
true again.
No, it
She's
is
right
not.
again.
It is not true.
Well, yes. Well, some of the projects are in 2035.
Well, but it's still so much money left, and they will continue to have money put into that. It's for, if you read what the fund is for, it is for operational and capital. So it's not just capital. It's just amazing to me that here they are. They have a pot of money right now. They can go in and we can use it temporarily until we find what they want, which is recurrent revenue, but they're not doing it. The governor can do it on his own right now without anybody, without any legislature, because it's controlled by his administration. It's in PennDOT. It's not in the Treasury. So he can easily release that funding and, their self-imposed deadline, they can open up the routes that they...
All right, thanks. And she went on to say that they're going to raise taxes, and that's what they want to do. Jay Costa, Democratic leader and a true leader. Jay, thanks for calling. Respond, please, sir.
Yeah, Marty, first and foremost, this is not a self-imposed deadline. This conversation about mass transit has been going on for 3 years now. In fact, last year, back in July and August, I sat in Leader Pittman's office with Leader Appropriations Chair Martin. We reached an agreement on using lapse dollars to be able to fund transit at 80 and 80 for transit and 80 for roads and bridges. They've known this has been an issue for 3 years now, and Governor proposed it 2 years in a row. Then we couple this with investments in roads and bridges as well. It's not a self-imposed deadline. It's a situation that's a crisis that's now unfolding. We now know that the route cuts are going into effect. Come Monday morning, there's going to be a 20% a 20% fare increase. And the use of the trust fund has been talked about. Folks are willing to use the trust fund. However, it's got to be repaid. And the proposals that Senate Republicans have put forth that Senator Ward talks about does not recognize that this money needs to be paid. I analogize this trust fund money to when you escrow your property taxes with your mortgage. You have a debt that's due at a date certain to pay for your taxes. In our case, is to pay for trains and buses and tracks and buildings and the like out of the capital side of the trust fund. You accumulate those dollars to be able to make those investments and those payments, just like you escrow your tax money through your mortgage. No different than that. We recognize that we can use the trust fund for a short-term 2-year proposal that we had been talking about long before they introduced their measure, but it has to be repaid. The second thing is you cannot fund roads and bridges out of transit money. It's inappropriate. You don't do it that way. We will provide resources through this process for road and bridge investments across the other parts of the state. And the final thing is this is not a tax increase, and it does not lead to tax increases. Utilizing the governor's proposal, if we want to go back to that, requires an increased portion of the sales tax, a small increase, 1.75% increase in the sales tax collected. It's not an increase in the sales tax and doesn't lead to it. And it's no different than any other additional spending that we would do in a general fund budget. If we're going to increase education, we're going to increase human service programs, we're going to increase veteran services, money for individuals with disabilities, any increase along those lines under Senator Ward's theory would ultimately lead to a tax increase. That's an absurd theory to be able to say that.
Hey Jay, where are you in terms of talks, partner? Where?
I mean, Senator Ward and I are meeting at 1 o'clock today to go over
nice.
things. Talk about this. My point is we're trying to move forward, Marty, with a revised approach. But it's important to know that the sales tax last year increased from year to year over $500 and some million. $500 million extra came in sales tax. That's why we look at these type of programs to be able to utilize for these purposes. That's what we're looking at. $437 million from year to year increase. So that's when we look at the sales tax. It's not going to result in a tax increase, and it's just misleading the public intentionally. And that's what yesterday I got offended about, and that's why I reached out to you.
No, I appreciate it, and I appreciate your honesty, and you've always been the man to respond in a very clear, concise manner. What do you expect to accomplish, or what you hope to accomplish with her in about an hour, sir?
Well, I think what we want to be able to do is, have a conversation about maybe a revised plan with respect to utilizing some of the things that the governor talked about, utilizing the trust fund that we talked about in a limited way, not in the major way that they talked about. But again, it needs to not be used for roads and bridges. We have a motor license fund, Marty, that they don't want to talk about, but we have a similar amount of money for the same purposes in a motor license fund. That's where the dollars go for road and bridges. We're happy to work with that as well. And more importantly, the bottom line is this money, whatever we utilize for a couple of years to hold us over until we get a revenue stream, a dedicated revenue stream outside of the sales tax, if they don't want to do that, is that it has to be repaid. You got to make sure you repay anything you take from the trust fund, because these are projects that have been authorized by the authorities, by the transit authorities, that now they have a gap in funding towards their project. We got to replace those dollars in the process.
Hey, Jay, when will the hospitals and schools really start to get spanked, really feel the legitimate pinch, sir?
I think, some of the providers are the ones, I think, who probably get pinched first. The nonprofits that are providing child care services and the human service programs in the community, quite frankly. The school districts, I think, will be okay. They're collecting their the property tax revenue now. They all have reserves they can look to. We're going to make the next. I think we're getting much closer. We're at the number that Republicans wanted, under $50 billion. It's just a question now of how we deploy that $50 billion, or less than 50, and how you prioritize those spendings within that. And there's some differences with regard to how we want to spend it, and within that number, and that's kind of where things are at. And I hope that sooner than later, I would say to you, Marty, I expect in the next couple of weeks we should have this all wrapped up.
Jay, thanks for the leadership, man. Thank you. Appreciate your honesty, man, and caring about people. Thanks, my man.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you.
One of the best ever. And so is she. They're great people, and they're good friends, and it's nice to know they're going to be meeting in about an hour and 15 minutes. We will let you know exactly what happens. Very cool. And they're not nasty to each other, which I love. It's actually refreshing. It's civil rhetoric from the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville. Ellen, what's up?
We're taking a live look at the Parkway West with the PennDOT cameras. Things got very heavy very quickly here on the front side of Green Tree Hill. We have taken a look at that stretch from before the top of the hill all the way down to the Fort Pitt tunnels. We are not catching sight of an accident. Don't have any reports of accidents, so it's just a lot of traffic, and it's all moving very slowly for you there. So do keep that in mind as you make your travels heading toward the noontime hour. Trying to head across the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge from the Parkway North, I-279, 28, or Route 65, a bit of a challenge. We have bridge inspection crews working each day this week, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and as they set up lane restrictions, we're seeing very congested traffic there. Right now, it's extremely heavy coming over from 28 and 279 all the way around the bend toward the lower deck of the Fort Duquesne Bridge, so keep that in mind. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to The Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
My niece was getting engaged, and look, I took her to the spot. I took her to the place where they take care of you like family. Diamonds Direct. Whew! By the time she left there with her fiance, they were crying with joy. The thing is, from the time you walk in the door at Diamonds Direct, they embrace you like family. Would you like something to drink? Would you like champagne? Would you like a snack? I'm serious about this. What do you want to look at? Oh, this? Sure. How about that? Sure. It's a very, very personal, very, very intimate experience. Guess what my niece and her fiance did? They bought their engagement ring, and just last week, their wedding bands from Diamonds Direct. It's an amazing, amazing business. Right across, right at the entrance to Ross Park Mall. Perfect location, Route 19. Check McKnight Road. Check it out.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
Do you consider someone in our Pittsburgh area a hero? A hero can be your neighbor, a teacher, a church leader, or even your parent. Someone who has done something extraordinary. Once again, KDKA Radio needs your help as we honor 5 local heroes in our community. Nominate your hero for Larry Richards' Hometown Heroes event at KDKARadio.com.
So I talked to John Perry over the weekend from Perry Calder Law Firm. John has doctors on his staff to investigate medical malpractice cases. John has the biggest settlements at Perry Calder of any firm in this region. John has the track record. John sits down with families. He's met with my friends and my family members on cases. Perry Calder, 412-281-4200. 412-281-4200. Perry Calder.
Summers in Pittsburgh are great, but you don't want to spend it painting, so do what Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house and all the pillars. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
And right now, you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and that would be the way to go.
And here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. EQT Corp's initiative to unleash American-made liquefied natural gas opened up another front with a 20-year sales and purchase agreement to buy LNG from a Gulf Coast company's LNG terminal under development, helping to expand its business and reach beyond the domestic energy industry. Financial terms of the deal between EQT and the Sempra Infrastructure Division of Sempra weren't disclosed, but the 20-year definitive sales and purchasing agreement would see EQT buy 2 million tons a year of LNG from Sempra's Port Arthur LNG Phase 2 project in Jefferson County, Texas. Also, Essential Utilities announced a $26 million investment in a 1,400-acre data center facility in Greene County being developed by Pittsburgh-based International Electric Power. Essential subsidiary Aqua will design, construct, and run an 18 million gallon per day water treatment plant to provide the cooling needed for the high-performance computing. Peoples, another Essential subsidiary, will provide gas consulting services and energy management. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to PittsburghBusinessTimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Sorry, swallowing peanut butter. It's my thing. I bring Uncrustables to work. I love them. And I eat them in the breaks, so I'm sorry. I'm slow. I'm a doofus. Patricia, hang on. I'm going to grab your call. One thing I want to say about both those political leaders, I really do. I love them both. We go back so far. Kim Ward and I are, like, tight. Only because when I started doing Get Marty stuff, she was all in, man. We changed some state laws. This woman whose husband was a cop and he was shot in another place and didn't have insurance, she changed the law to get him insurance and benefits. She's a hell of a woman, man. And I just like the fact that she swings, man. And she's a little woman in a big man's world. And I know that sounds sexist, but it's just true. She's powerful and she's passionate and she's a hell of a leader, man. And I've known her more than 25 years. She brought to our attention her breast cancer so she could help other women. And I love her staff. We go way back, man. I've been in her office with the cookies and the staff, and they give a damn, man. And same with Costa. He's a badass. He's a great man and a great leader, and he gives a damn. And I think when, in a world where we characterize politicians as bad men and bad women, and they're just not. They're just not. Jay Costa always answers the phone. Always comes on air. Same with Kim. Even if it's adversarial, man, just all class. All class. And it's not easy doing what they do. I love them both. I had to say that. And the fact is that they both respond with the truth from their perspective. And nothing wrong with that, man. They're great people. And one more thing, that incident involving that teenager today, that's what we're talking about here, right? The angst, right? The anxiety, the depression, kids with guns. But we have here is a mom who actually gives a damn and engages her son and took a gun off of his bed this morning and according to my source, said, I'll be dead if you take that gun. And she grabbed it and called 911. And I hope they find that kid, and I hope he's safe. Patricia, thanks for your patience.
Yes, that I have. First of all, on a high note, I'd like to congratulate you on whatever award you received.
It's for being, king of the world.
Oh, I'll agree with that. But anywho, I can't believe you had Senator Costa on. I was just going to call his office, and I'm wondering if you could give me a direct number because of this transit bill.
Yes, ma'am.
I was downtown the other day. I've been a rider on the Port Authority ever since 1970. I don't own a car. And they made some changes downtown. And if you could see the steam come out of my ears and the blood boiling in my veins.
By the way, this is so brilliant. They move stops and construction and screw people over.
I can't even tell you. It's like they're on another planet.
It's so true.
But I have to talk to somebody.
Hold on, Patricia. This is why people quit riding the damn bus.
Listen, and everybody that rides it.
I love you.
I'm in the East End. Everybody needs wheelchairs, whatever, shoppers.
She's right.
I'm still boiling from how they did. Anywho.
Hold on, Patricia. Send me an email with all the details. I need to get on this and help you out. Get Marty at KDKRadio.com. Do it, please.
Right.
All right.
Okay, that's that. And then the shooting. Okay, mental. I know you got to go. Tom.
Yes, ma'am.
Mental problems.
Yes, ma'am.
People have to direct it. My mother, God bless her, was mentally ill all her life, and if she didn't get the help she did, God only knows. And the thing is, people have to. They really have to when they see something, that's not right. They really have. They really have to.
They really do. They really have to care. I love you. Wow, she nailed it. You're wonderful. Send me that email. Get Marty at KDKRadio.com. Thank you. You're great.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
So, an older woman in her 80s with cancer, it's a true story, reached out to me a week and a half ago. Poor thing, her roof is collapsing. I mean, literally collapsing. And she has a baby pool in the house to collect water. And NASCO Roofing is going to put a new roof on our house. It's that kind of company, man. It's that kind of service. It's that kind of commitment. NASCO Roofing. Labor, fantastic. Pricing, fantastic. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
69 and mostly cloudy at 12 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Shaler Township Police are at work in the 1400 block of Anderson Road near Shaler Area High School, which is on lockdown. A law enforcement source tells KDKA's Marty Griffin a mother called 911 after finding a gun on her teenage son's bed.
The son grabs his book pack, his backpack, and leaves and runs into the woods behind. Shaler Police doing amazing work. SRT team on the SWAT team, in essence, on the scene. They searched the woods with a drone and with canines. The boy is not there. The school is safe. They don't know if the young man has a gun, another gun from another place, and they're looking to determine that.
Police say the perimeter of nearby Shaler Area High School again is secure. There's no immediate threat to the school, and they're also asking the public to avoid the area. We expect to speak with the police chief soon for further details. The 23-year-old who opened fire on Catholic school students attending Mass at a church school in Minneapolis left behind disturbing writings and posted a video manifesto to YouTube. CBS's Anna Schechter has more.
Those videos show ammunition, weapons with hateful writing, almost like kind of a catalog of different demographics to target. So it's actually been difficult for investigators to pin down the exact motive because this was a very disturbed person who glorified past mass shooters in those writings, as well as glorified acts of violence against children.
Robin Westman scrawled, "Kill Donald Trump," and "For the Children" on magazines of ammunition. Westman, who identified as a transgender woman, killed himself at the scene. A safety expert says people are missing the mark when discussing solutions to gun violence. On the Big K Morning Show, Sam Rosenberg said people should be taught how to spot the indicators. For example, nearly all mass shooters do not take responsibility for their actions.
And they look at the world through the lens of themselves being a victim, and they feel justified in their level of violence to get their message across.
Rosenberg said intervention is a must when identifying someone who sees violence as the only solution to their problems. The man behind Juneteenth events is suing Mayor Ed Gainey and the city of Pittsburgh. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has the story.
Attorney Joel Sansone, who is representing William B. Marshall, said the Gainey administration hindered Marshall's festivals.
Mr. Gainey turned his back on his constituents and the people that elected him by trying to take over the Juneteenth celebration from B and Margo and to give it to his wife's friend, a woman who had no experience putting on a festival like this or something of this size.
In a statement released by the mayor's office, it states in part, the city firmly denies that Mr. Marshall's civil rights have been violated. Mr. Marshall has encountered challenges with the execution of his events due to problems of his own making, not due to bias or unfair treatment. The lawsuit accuses Gainey and the city of retaliation in violations of the First and 14th Amendments. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 9 points at 45,557. The NASDAQ up 48. And the S&P is ahead 3 points. KDKA Sports. The Cardinals and Pirates are finishing their series this afternoon in St. Louis. Pre-game coverage on KDKA radio starts at 1:20. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick with their famous lifetime warranty on materials and labor. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 12:04. If you're injured, time to hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan. Dial Pound Law for Morgan & Morgan. 69 and cloudy in Pittsburgh. The AccuWeather forecast next.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Pennsylvania. TNC Supply.
If you are new to Medicare and have questions, Aetna can help. Aetna has a Medicare Advantage plan that includes prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plan includes benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-833-771-3415 to learn more. A licensed agent will answer your call.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our DSMPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
Folds of Honor has been meeting Sacrifice with Hope since 2019 in Western Pennsylvania. It's their honor to empower people through education and the opportunities it creates. 41% of Folds of Honor scholarships are awarded to minorities, making the recipient families as diverse as the country we call home. Folds of Honor has earned the Gold Star Platinum Seal as well as a 4 out of 4 stars ranking on Charity Navigator. You can become a Folds of Honor wingman today at westernpa.foldsofonor.org. Please donate today. Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville is a proud supporter of Folds of Honor.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The rest of today will feature a mix of sun and clouds. There can be a gusty shower or thunder shower in spots this afternoon, the high about 70. Partly cloudy and cool tonight, though 50. Times of sun and clouds tomorrow, the high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
This back-to-school season, Independence Health System reminds you a healthy start sets the tone for a successful school year. Now's the perfect time to schedule wellness visits for your child and yourself. These checkups help catch health concerns early, support development, and give you peace of mind. Don't wait. Book your appointment today. Visit independence.health to find a trusted doctor near you. Expert care here.
After years of diving into the ups and downs of retirement planning, we've decided to change the name of our show, Expedition Retirement. Join us for Fire Your Financial Advisor, Saturday night at 8 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Documentary. Expert sat, this is a true story, sat on the Golden Gate Bridge for a year. San Francisco set up a camera 24/7. Why? To get people jumping from the bridge. Not out of a morbid curiosity, but part of his research. And he interviewed 7 people who survived. Seriously. And all of the survivors said on the way down, they all said, I shouldn't have done this. Crosses my mind. I'm watching the musings and ramblings and rantings of this killer of these kids in this school yesterday, if he regrets what he did, as he looks back in the blood and the horrifying tears. And I don't know. I don't, but I do know this. I've sat in prisons interviewing serial killers, sat along death row as a man waited to die, and they all have regret. They all do. One excuse, Henry Lee Lucas, the most infamous mass murderer I've ever interviewed. I was a kid, too, in Wichita Falls, Texas. And Henry was charged with killing this woman. Her name was Kate Rich. She was 85. He cut her up in pieces and put her in an oven. I'm not exaggerating. And he stood up in court the next morning, and the judge said innocent or guilty. And Henry said guilty of this murder and countless others. And he had a lifetime of abuse and neglect and hatred. And when I interviewed him, he regretted all of it. Which leads me to all these mass shootings and undeniably horrendous acts in America these days. And to a man who lives this because he's engaged all the time with these sorts of folks who commit violent acts. And one of my friends and one of my favorite Americans, Dr. Christian Conte. Good afternoon, sir. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well. It's a tough topic that we got to address today, but we got to talk about
it. So people know this, give them context on the horrifying stories that you hear on a regular basis, sir.
Yeah, I specialize in working with people convicted of violent crime. So I am regularly in maximum security prisons, talking to people, working with people who have done these types of acts. And I always love your perspective. And I'm glad you opened with what you did, because yes, that has been my experience as well. When I interview these people, I will see that once you commit that crime, the moment it happens, all the adrenaline, cortisol that gets released then, and then you realize the weight of it hits you. And yes, there is regret. Now, there are some people who will then, when they realize that they're not going to get out of the position they're in, like they're in that prison and that's where they are for life, then they will seek to defend that. So sometimes you'll hear people brag about it, say that do it again. But in those initial moments, I tend to believe what you just said because I've watched it. I watched people say, well, yeah, I would have done it differently because they didn't get the result they thought they were getting.
Hey, help me with something. Today's boogeyman, and Americans always want a boogeyman. Today's boogeyman are transgenders, this ignorant meme that's circulating the globe that transgenders are responsible for 7 mass shootings. Okay, but there have been 300 in less than a year. And the vast majority are white men like me and you, Doc. I can't stand what America does because they can't figure it out. Let's blame someone. Last week it was illegal immigrants. Before that it was guys with a military background from Vietnam. We always want a boogeyman, do we not, sir? We don't want to seek out the truth, which is usually the man in the mirror.
We do. Listen, I mean, and that's the reality from all sides. People will force it into their political perspectives from either side, you know, so both sides are doing it where they make it about politics, and then they just say, for the argument against their side, they say, don't make it about politics, and then they open up the arguments about the other side. So you're right. And I talk time and time again, 27 years I've been doing this work, and time again, I come back to, I'm the only person I can control. And so if I'm going to add violence and anger and hatred to the world, I have to look in the mirror. I have to, what am I adding to this?
Man in the mirror, however, comment, this is actually interesting to me. And I opened my show with this morning, and I mean this. I have a close friend who's a horrible alcoholic, meaning he's endangering himself and others. And he's in law enforcement. And he's not close enough that I can do an intervention, but he has a bunch of friends that won't because they're afraid. And so he continues to head down this path towards his destruction or someone else's. I say the same thing about parents who say, man, I'm worried about my son. Or a wife who says, man, I'm worried about my husband. But maybe it'll work itself out, and then boom, something like this happens, right? Right?
Mm-hmm. So you're right. So what do? It is absolutely important to step in and say something. Here's where people get tied up. They go, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to fix it.
Right.
So I want to be really clear. It's not your job to fix that person. It's your job to show that person you're there. You don't have to have the right words. You can say, listen, I don't know what words to say. I need you to know you're not alone. I'm here with you, whatever I can do. That's the difference, because I think what happens is they say, well, I need to fix this person. So now I need this person to do whatever I say. And of course, we don't change until we're ready, willing, and able to change. So if we're not ready, willing, or able, we just see that as annoyance. And if we're trying to make a real change, it means getting through and letting people know they're not alone.
Hey, Doc, of the men that you've interviewed that have murdered people, and this is a tough leap, how many of them, in your mind's eye, you're thinking, man, if we could have got to him when he was 12, he wouldn't be in this prison cell? How much would help, legit adult help, and intervention have made a difference in your mind?
I believe it makes all the difference in the world. I mean, honestly, that sits with me so deeply. I can't tell you how many times in my groups where I have 30 people convicted of violent crimes, where people will say, "I wish I knew this when I was younger." We don't get to them in time. But again, one of the biggest, like the gasoline that lights the fire, is when we allow ourselves to have an anger target. Just like you said, so we find somebody, that's our bullseye, that's our person we're going to take it out on, and they let that grow, they let it fester inside. So again, I come back to, let's look at what we're contributing to the world, because if we just keep building it up. Now, that being said, I wish I could reach in the hearts of the families that lost people. This is unspeakable to hurt children. It's unspeakable to hurt children, and it's disgusting to see that somebody would hurt children.
Hey, Doc, what element of social media is gasoline for this fire? Because what they find is peers. They find peers, they think. Like this guy. He's pulling the background of the serial killers, of the mass murderers, of the man who killed all those folks in Squirrel Hill, at the synagogue, of the shooter in the tower in Texas from the 60s. That becomes their support group and peer group. The internet and social media is the accelerant to push them toward the edge, is it not, sir?
It is. And it's mind-boggling, but anything people like, they will find support of on the internet. It would be wonderful if we could act as society as a good parent, and when someone likes something or idolizes something horrific like that, we go, hold on, what are you doing? Like, that's awful. Like, this is no glory in this. There is no glory in the cowardice of hurting people when it's not a fair fight. There is no glory in that. And I think we need to call people out on it. But you're right that's what happens. 100% you're on the money. Oh, I like some strange thing. I'm just going to type it on the internet, and there's going to be somebody out there that supports it. And the problem with that is there's no grounding in that support. It's just a, hey, yeah, keep doing it from over here. I say you keep doing, because I don't have any responsibility with it. And I believe that if we can make people more accountable for everything we say, I'm not saying to an outside source, but just to yourself, be accountable. What are you contributing to the world?
Hey, man, can you hang?
Yes, I can.
I got a guy online who says you saved his life. Hold on, brother. Christian Conte's my man.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
There are things in this world that are just a bad combo, like a leftover salmon lunch bowl and the office microwave.
What is that smell? Is that fish? Oh, man.
You know what's actually a smart combo? Upside cash back with your credit card rewards. That's right. With Upside, you can earn an average 8% cash back at restaurants in Pittsburgh, like Arby's, Applebee's, and Pizza Hut. The best part? You can combine Upside with your credit card perks and loyalty programs. It's like double dipping your rewards with an extra side of cash back. Download Upside, and for a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first restaurant meal with promo code PIT101. That's promo code PITT101 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. See why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. Next time you need a break from the break room, choose the smart combo with Upside. Don't forget to use promo code PIT101. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
You'll always find quality product and tremendous savings at Coons Market.
80% lean fresh ground beef, $3.99 a pound. Whole seedless watermelons, $3.99 each. And plain or wavy essential everyday potato chips, 9-ounce bags, 2 for $3. Come see us at Coons.
I'm with Joe Potocznik, JP Roofing and Siding. Congratulations, Joe. Triple Crown winner from Owens Corning.
Yes, Larry. We are proud to announce that we are recognized for service excellence, product excellence, and MVP based on marketing leadership and customer service.
Call Joe and his team. You'll get the best of the best. Get a free estimate for roof and siding replacements. Call the roofing replacement experts at JP Roofing and Siding, 412-829-7711. Congrats, Joe.
Thank you, Larry.
As an athlete, I'm all about performance and my overall health. I've wanted to improve my smile for a while, but I thought braces was the only option. A friend of mine mentioned she was improving her smile with Invisalign, so I checked out with my local orthodontist and found out that Invisalign could work for me as well. After a quick scan, my orthodontist created my Invisalign plan, and I couldn't be more excited to start. Check out Invisalign.com to find a doctor in your neighborhood. It's great that there are trained Invisalign doctors in our own community here. Invisalign.com.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
CBS Eye on Veterans from ConnectingVets.com. Navy veteran Matt Thompson founded a heating and air conditioning company using the skills he learned in the military. But it was his interest in social media that took his business to a whole new level.
So I watch these guys on YouTube, and I learn from all of them. They're all hilarious. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start doing it too. I'm just going to start making videos. But I started making videos of me making moonshine, cooking, fishing, whatever. And then I started integrating my work in with it, with customers. Some of it's, technical, educational, and some of it's funny. And hey, I get customers from that. So now, not only am I getting customers from the social media is paying me monthly.
Brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving all branches of the armed forces, veterans, and their families. No matter where you are in your military careers, we have the products and resources to help you navigate your finances. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Our members are the mission.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I can't wrap my arms around the violence that we're seeing in this country. Steve, go ahead.
Didn't you follow a gay minister to a dog bookstore?
No idea what he's talking about, but I'm going to pass on it. Dr. Christian Conti, is it our culture? Is it media? Is it mental illness? What the hell's happening to us with this explosion in violence, sir?
Well, the gasoline for it is this. We get an anger target. We get something in our mind that we project all of our anger onto. And then we allow ourselves to use it as an individual scapegoat. And this happens to people. They could fixate on somebody that they used to know. They could fixate on a group. They could fixate on a media person. And what they do is they dump all of their anger, all of their hatred. They want that person to be responsible for everything in their lives. And because they're allowing this anger target to grow, Marty, that's where it just gets out of control, because they believe themselves justified then in whatever they do hurtful.
Can any of this be stopped before we get to this point? I mean, and what the hell do we do to do that, sir?
So I would love for every parent listening to us right now tonight to sit down with your kids, whether it's at the dinner table, whether it's coming home from practice, just sit down with them and say, listen, I know this can sound silly or awkward because we saw this on TV. Just call out your discomfort in the conversation,
nice.
Right? So if it's going to be awkward for you, call it out. Say, hey, listen, I know this is awkward, but I just want to talk to you about this. I want you to know that you can talk to me about stuff. Maybe I haven't been the best in the past, but I promise you I'm going to give you my best. Because having an open dialogue. Do you know, Marty, when I train teachers, I always refer them to this. This study might have been over 20 years ago, but I still believe it has relevance. What children who chose not to commit suicide could cite one person in their life who reached out and showed interest in their lives. So when I tell teachers, I say, pick 3 kids every day, maybe somebody you see that they're in the back of the class, and say, tell me about your weekend, or ask them something that has nothing to do with school. Is there a favorite movie you like? Anything, because the connection. And one of the things I love about you personally is you live your message. You're out there connecting with the people of Pittsburgh all the time. That's what it is. We want to instill a sense of connection so people don't feel isolated.
And hey, man, putting a cop on every corner. So today it's let's protect all the schools. I put together a list, Doc, of where there have been mass shootings: schools, churches, malls, airports, post offices, office buildings, army bases, airports, hospitals, daycares, banks, restaurants. And that's just the beginning. It ain't that, is it, sir? It really isn't. Put a gun in everyone's hand and a cop in every corner.
No, and I think the knee-jerk reactions right now are I get why people have knee-jerk reactions. I get why you need to have a simple answer. I wish it could be like that. I wish it was just do this.
That's right.
Because that's what happens. We say, just do this. It's not a just. None of this is a just. This is complex. There is most certainly right and wrong, and there is certainly crossing a line. But I just think it's important for people to realize. And here's the best way to say it, Marty. For everybody out there, whatever issue you have going on, if you tell it to someone else from the outside, they go, oh, just do this. And you get mad. You say, no, it's more than just that. But then when it's someone else's problem, you can immediately go, oh, well, you just do that. So let's get rid of the just. Let's acknowledge that people have a difficult moment, and let's try to connect with them in the best way we can.
Dr. Christian Conti, my man. Thanks, brother. Truth, man. Truth is good.
You.
Thanks, my man. He's the best ever. I find it invigorating. He's a breath of fresh air. He's a wind into the curtains in your house when you have the windows open. He's a brilliant man. He gives a damn. He spends a lot of his time in maximum security prisoners talking to murderers and trying to understand why and when and where do they go from there. I've interviewed hundreds of criminals. They all have a story. And I mean that, and I'm not disparaging that story. Abuse, neglect, drugs, alcohol, and I mean that. Mental illness, socioeconomic problems. They all have a friggin' story. To which I say there are also just as many who have a story of how they survived it and thrived. We have a responsibility to do the best we can to at least reach out to folks we think would be troubled or in danger. You heard what he said? One person reaching out to one person in trouble could save their life or someone else's. And if you think there aren't other men right now sitting in their homes planning mass killings, you're dead wrong and you're ignorant. And you covered your head and you're buried in a lie, because this is real, big time.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in a parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Due to the success of the July savings specials, my friends at Coit have extended their sale. Save 50% off drapery cleaning. 40% off all other Coit cleaning services. Coit's full-time service drapery cleaning unmatched, including takedown, cleaning, and rehanging your drapes. Call Coit today. 1-800-FOR-COIT. That's 1-800-FOR-COIT. 50% off drapery cleaning. 40% off all other Coit services. Get your home Coit clean. Coit Pittsburgh, the best.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 74 degrees at 12:30. I'm David Ballarado. Shaler Township Police are at work on the 1400 block of Anderson Road near Shaler Area High School, which is on lockdown. A law enforcement source tells KDKA's Marty Griffin that a mother called 911 after finding a gun on her teenage son's bed.
The son grabs his book pack, his backpack, and leaves and runs into the woods behind. Shaler Police doing amazing work. SRT team on the SWAT team, in essence, on the scene. They searched the woods with a drone and with canines. The boy is not there. The school is safe. They don't know if the young man has a gun, another gun from another place, and they're looking to determine that.
Police say the perimeter of nearby Shaler Area High School is secure and there's no immediate threat to the school, but they're also asking people to avoid the area. We expect to speak with the police chief soon for further details. A stabbing this morning at a north side bus stop near Giant Eagle. First responders were called to the area of Cedar Avenue and Presley Street just after 6 this morning. One person was taken to a hospital, condition unknown. Could yesterday's mass shooting in Minneapolis have been prevented? News Radio KDKA's Paul Rasmussen has more.
Security expert Sam Rosenberg says the solution to stopping gun violence is educating people about warning signs from a person who could commit an atrocity.
Particularly the eyes and ears of our society, people like teachers, people like parents, how to spot the warning signs that someone could be heading down a dark path and get them the proper intervention. And intervention does, in fact, work.
Rosenberg also says organizations need to train people what to do in the event of an emergency and have the right security measures in place. In his words, it's good to have lifeguards, but you need to know how to swim. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 35 points, the Nasdaq is higher by 94 points, and the S&P 500 up 11. KDK Radio News Time 12:31. Our next update's at 1. I'm David Ballarado on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
Don't let summer slip away. Your last-minute summer adventure at Deep Creek Lake is here. Upgrade your getaway to a luxury SWAC Vacations Lodge with its own private indoor pool, a hidden speakeasy, even a private lazy river. Book any 3-night stay before Labor Day. Get $500 off. That means more money for your family trip to Myrtle Beach, a luxury lodge in Deep Creek, a massive Outer Banks house with room for everyone, and many more great destinations. Visit swacvacations.com. Use code LAKE500. Claim your $500 discount.
Carlos is my man from Greater Pitt Tree Service. I mean, we're good friends. He's done trees in our yard, trees in my neighbors' yards, trees in family members' yards. Why? Best in the business. Best pricing, best labor, best professional service I've ever seen in my life. He's on a job right now, and he does free jobs for World War II veterans. Amazing, amazing man. Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-TREE.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text FIRM 66 to 32 32 32. FIRM 66 to 32 32 32. Firm 66 to 32 32 32. Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A mix of sun and clouds for the rest of today. There can be a gusty shower or thundershower in a couple of places this afternoon, the high 70. Cool tonight under partly cloudy skies, low 50. Times of sun and clouds tomorrow, high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
If you're turning 65 this year, review your Medicare Part C options now. You need to know the difference between Advantage plans versus supplement plans. Contact locally owned and operated Need Part C today for a free consultation. That's Need Part C. Beat the annual enrollment rush. NeedPartC.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
I spend just about every night now at UPMC Montefiore with my sister Barb, who is fighting the fight, pancreatic cancer. The greatest nurses, the greatest doctors, the greatest attentive staff I've ever been around. Every single hour, every single staff member dedicated to her fight against the warrior from hell, I call it, pancreatic cancer. UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
August is Pet Appreciation Month. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129 plus 15% off pet odor treatments and take $50 off air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResPGH.com.
Go between the hash marks and get your football fix every Thursday evening at 6 with the Bowser Chevrolet Quest for the Best High School Football Show live from Dave & Buster's. Dan Zangrilli and the Dean of High School Sports, Mike White, break it all down. It's powered by Bowser Chevrolet and brought to you by Diulis Law and by Guardian Protection, your hometown home and business security company. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Have you been to Piatta Italian Street Food, Pittsburgh's new favorite fast casual restaurant? Come try a hand-rolled piatta, fresh chopped salad, or tossed pasta like their carbonara. A comforting bowl of creamy Parmesan Alfredo, tomatoes, crisp pancetta, fresh spinach, and Parmesan. With 4 Pittsburgh locations in Oakland, Northway, South Hills, and North Fayette, there's a Piatta near you. Piatta Italian Street Food. Better food fast.
So, an older woman in her 80s with cancer, it's a true story, reached out to me a week and a half ago. Poor thing, her roof is collapsing. I mean, literally collapsing. And she has a baby pool in the house to collect water. And NASCO Roofing is going to put a new roof on our house. It's that kind of company, man. It's that kind of service. It's that kind of commitment. NASCO Roofing. Labor. Fantastic. Pricing, fantastic. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The U.S. economy expanded at a slightly faster pace than initially thought in the spring second quarter, up by 3.3%. That's thanks to a boost from trade as U.S. importers tried to get ahead of the Trump tariffs and steady consumer spending. The AI chip maker NVIDIA, the world's most valuable company, came out with pretty strong earnings late Wednesday, but a lackluster outlook for the current quarter, at least according to Wall Street. Even though sales were expected to top $54 billion, it's buying back $60 billion of its own stock. Investors wanted to see more. NVIDIA shares down slightly right now. That's weighing on Wall Street just a little bit, along with some jitters about a key report on inflation out on Friday. Right now, the Dow is pretty much flat. So is the S&P 500. The NASDAQ up 0.25%. And get ready to pay more for that coffee. J.M. Smucker says it'll have to jack up the price of its Folgers and Cafe Bustelo brands by 20% this year, and it's blaming the Trump tariffs. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I had to grab Jim Klingensmith, one of the best cops ever, most connected ever, and gives a damn. Deadly. Love him. Could retire and go fishing, but decides he wants to make a difference instead, and nothing wrong with that. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Morning, Marty. How you doing today, brother?
Before we get into the mass shooting thing, so I'm getting all these texts regarding Shaler. Now they have the FBI involved and more than 50 people looking for this kid. And the gun that he had, the serial numbers were kind of sort of scratched off. Should we be worried, sir, when something like this happens?
Yeah, we got a juvenile on the run that numerous people, law enforcement agencies, have to chase throughout our community. It basically disrupts the entire law enforcement and pulls them away from their normal tasks and so forth. And then you got another kid with another gun. It's probably stolen.
Probably.
He's 17 years old with scratched off serial numbers that can scratch them off all you want, but they're easy to recover. It's the never-ending nightmare.
It is, man. And here's what jumped off the map, because when I talked to the people there, they said that. So his mom comes in his room and she grabs the gun and he says, if you don't give that back, I'll be dead. Which tells me he wasn't thinking about hurting himself. He thought someone was trying to kill him. Is that fair?
They believe that in their minds. They believe that since everybody else on the street is armed, that they need to arm themselves. A lot of these kids get sucked into this situation because of their environment, and they're surrounded by kids with guns and other kids running around. So they feel an urge or a necessity to acquire, steal, rob a gun. Because in their minds, their juvenile minds, they believe every person around the corner is a threat. And that's a scary situation because these kids are not afraid to pull the trigger, obviously.
Jim Klingensmith, and to your point, he's been arrested before for assault, so he has violence in his past, sir. Bam.
Yeah. So, obviously, this kid needs some kind of help.
Yep.
His mother, thank God she was on the ball and took that gun off of him.
So true.
I mean, if he's running around, I hope he doesn't feel like this is the end and he can't do any better or he can't get his life straight or whatever is going on in his mind. It's his mind that's causing the problem right now. That's where the mental health comes in. We need a system to help our future. Our kids are being ruined. Let's help them, Here we go. He's, 17, I think it is. He already got a solid criminal record with stolen guns. Here we go.
Hey, help me with this. I'm not trying to be a jerk, and everybody's helping out. Why would the FBI get involved in this? Because now they're on the scene. Why? Just more boots on the ground?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every man, for this type of job, it's important to find them. You don't want the kid to commit harm to himself or anybody else, and you need to get him in as quickly as you can to calm him down, calm his mind down, get him in a comfortable, area, wherever it may be. But this kid needs help. So we need to get everybody out there to try to find him as quickly as possible, because he's going to hurt himself or he's going to feel the need to hurt somebody else.
And by the way, it raises another point. So mom took one gun doesn't mean he doesn't have access to another, does it, sir?
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Most of these kids have several guns. They hide them around their house. They hide them in the dog coop, up in the attic. Generally, parents don't have a clue how many guns these kids have. God was with that lady today. She got that gun out of that kid's hand. Cops show up. He got a gun in his hand. That's a nightmare situation.
It sure is. And it kind of goes into what we're talking about with these mass shooters. What the hell do we do, man? How the hell are we supposed to know this guy's out there making these videos and has all these guns and wants to kill these kids? There's no way for guys like you in law enforcement to read that process happening, is there, sir?
No, that's where it comes from the community.
Right
it comes from moms.
Right on.
Moms are born with a natural instinct to know their kids are up to no good.
Right
Start using it.
Right
Start
on.
putting it into work. Start, they have a natural instinct. I think I got caught at everything I did when I was a kid. Moms just know. So step up. Save your kid. Call the police. Say, hey, my son has a gun, or my son's involved with this. You're not trying to harm him. You're not trying to incarcerate him. You're trying to help him. You're trying to save him. You're trying to save his life, somebody else's life. We have to build a structure inside of the community to start in the house, and they have to start helping themselves. They're your child. Protect them. Reach out. Do what you need to do.
Hey, I just sent you a text. Can you look at your phone?
Yes, sir.
You see that?
Okay.
You see that?
Yes.
What is that? What the hell is that? What is Barco Law School? This text just came out. Pitt, what is ENS? Sorry about that.
Not exactly sure.
Okay. Cops and city police on the scene at Barco Law School for an unconfirmed report of an armed person. Wow.
Oh, good Lord.
It never ends.
It's like every time an incident happens, you got to have a repeat offender. It's like it gets in their minds, and they're already distorted and twisted and have mental health issues if they're thinking about using a gun on anybody for no reason, just because they want to, and they're mad at the world, and they're looking for somebody to blame, looking for somebody to lash out to.
And using this as an example, so that somebody went to the Pitt Law School and they think they have a gun. So it really raises this whole dynamic of what's happening in our culture right now, right? With unstable people and weapons, right?
Yeah. You have mental health issues. You have gun issues. You have judicial system who doesn't enforce it or help these kids.
It's true.
They don't offer them mental health, and they definitely aren't putting them in jail.
No, they're not.
So here you go. The perfect storm. Like I said, they're grooming these kids to be long-term professional criminals. These are hardcore kids with these guns on the street.
And let me say this. I hate to blow the narrative that we're all going to get killed in a mass shooting, because I don't believe that. If you look at the data, and here's where I have an issue. There are a lot more kids committing a lot more shootings and homicides than all of the mass shooting deaths combined. And these are kids pulling this craziness off every single day. Yes? Yes?
So it's the kids that are doing most of the shootings, you're saying, in the stats?
Oh, kids and adults. But that's where the violence lies. Tens of thousands of shootings that aren't related to mass shootings. That's America's crisis. Way beyond we had a school shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's plagued our nation.
It
but,
has.
We let it prosper. We let it grow.
It's true.
Okay? You can't tell me that law enforcement doesn't work. A heavy presence of law enforcement on the streets, getting it done, boots on the ground. It works. Look at D.C. Look at Ryan Hackey and Homestead, Project Trigger Law. These things work.
Hold on. The mayor of D.C. admitted, I'm not suggesting she's a bad person, but she's a Democratic mayor who admits that what they've done in D.C. with the feds and Trump is working. It's working.
Wow. hats off to her, man. Somebody finally admitted that there was a crime problem and that a heavy law enforcement presence put a big Band-Aid on it for now, huh?
Thanks for the truth, brother. Appreciate you all the time.
Yes, sir.
He's the absolute best. There is no one better. So, this happening right now. Pitt's emergency notification system and Pitt Police Department and the city police on the scene at Barco Law School. It's a law library, as Patrick says. Unconfirmed report of an armed person. Man, tough.
The information you need, people you know, the little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
ABC Transit is urgently hiring for CDL and van drivers. Current sign-on bonus for Class B with S&P endorsements is $2,500. Van drivers get a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Complete their CDL program and earn up to $1,000 in additional bonuses. Safety and attendance bonuses available. You must be able to pass all background and clearance checks, must be drug-free. 9 locations in Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties. Apply in person. Call 724-831-8500.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Both of my daughters are Pitt students. They sent me notifications that they got notified about. Police on the scene at Barco Law School's law library. Unconfirmed report of an armed person. Then I have a picture of a police car. We're paying attention to it, but Mike Fisher, who is the man, who's amazing, a Pittsburgh scanner, but beyond that, he's a true insider and knows what's up at Pitt, believe me. He says that for now, they cleared it and didn't find anything, all right? So unconfirmed reports of someone at the law library at Pitt, armed person. A couple things I got to say. Number one, good for Pitt. My daughter received this alert, and so did all of her friends, and they immediately became cautious. Good for Pitt. Number two, immediate response time by cops. Immediate, on the scene, checking the scene. Number three, no panic by the students. In the video and pictures I'm seeing, everybody calmly moved away from the scene and let the police do their job. This is where we're at, though. To one of my friends who said, this is why I carry. I'm with you. I cannot argue that. With someone with training, with someone who knows firearms, I completely get it. I completely get it. We're at a time and place. The only thing I don't like, and let me say this too, about half the friends I know that are cops do not carry when they go out with their wives, go to dinner. They don't. The other half, they get a little odd. Always face the door in a restaurant. Can't live your life that way. In essence, live your life in fear. You can't. But the data suggests that what Klingensmith was saying is spot on, that we're in a violent culture and we don't take responsibility for that violence. We don't punish. We don't treat. We just move the ball. I could spend the next hour on people with mental illness who have killed people. Right? People with mental illness who have hurt people. Right? People with mental illness who are unstable, alcohol, drug problems, who have hurt themselves. And as you've heard early in the show as well, we've kind of stuck with this for 2 days now because it is important, is that there's very little help. But to reiterate, Pitt Police called to the Barco Law Library, which is a library at the law school, just sent this out to all students. No credible threat. Resume normal activity. And then for more campus safety info, visit safetypitt.edu. So, good for you, Pitt. Good for you, Pitt Police. Number one, not hiding from the truth. Sometimes colleges and universities in the past have been accused of hiding incidents like this because they didn't want the publicity and didn't want folks to think that their campus was unsafe. Number two, thanks to Pitt for, once it was over, telling kids it was over. Again, for purposes of review, Pitt alerted all students, and these texts come from my daughters. They came to their cell phones. Police have cleared the Barco Law Building. No credible threat. Resume normal activity. For more campus safety information, visit safety.pitt.edu. Meantime, not so fortunate in the Shaler School District, where right now they're still searching the area. But let me say this about Shaler Police. Unbelievably good job. Cleared the area. Locked down the school. Called all agencies out. There's more than 50 people up there right now looking for this kid. For those who say cops don't react enough. Number two, God bless Mom. She could have said, I can't tell anyone. I'll take care of this at home. She grabbed the gun, called police. There are parents who give a damn. There are parents who are involved. There are parents who do not hide from this. Good for Mom. But it illuminates and underlines the stressful, volatile, violent culture we live in right now. You have a 17-year-old boy in Shaler, and his mom goes in to check on him before school, and there's a gun laying on the bed. Mom grabs the gun. The boy says, if you take that gun from me, I'm dead. That's real. And the FBI is now involved. Real life, real stress, real potential for real violence. We'll let you know as soon as we hear new information out of Shaler.
As we get ready to close out the month, I have great news from Zero Res. You know Zero Res, safe for all pets, no harsh soaps or chemicals. Your house won't smell like a janitor's closet. You know Zero Res that cleans not only carpets, but tile, hardwood, rugs, upholstery, air ducts. Every surface in your home can be Zero Resified, so it's time to call my cleaning pros at Zero Res. I've got a pet, and if you do, you know the issues. But on top of that, right now, this week only, take advantage of this offer from Zero Res. You can get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for just $119 plus a free haul, and take $75 off your air duct cleaning too. Yeah, that's a great deal. Call 412-701-1188, 412-701-1188. Ask for the KDKA special, $119 off plus free haul, and take $75 off your duct cleaning too from Zero Res. The Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh announces its 25-26 season at Heinz Hall. 7 events will broaden your perspective and deepen your understanding of the world around you. Featuring Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former Russian political prisoner Vladimir Kara-Murza, and geopolitical economist Pippa Malmgren. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 74 degrees at 1 o'clock. I'm David Colorado. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Home improvements with no interest financing if you need it. TrustPJ.com. Pitt police say there was no credible threat there after an early report of a gunman at the Barco Law School. Police had asked students and the public to avoid the area around 12:30 and then gave the all clear about 20 minutes later. University of Pittsburgh police have a substation adjacent to the law school building on the 3900 block of Forbes Avenue. There have been a number of scares at college campuses in recent weeks, including at Villanova, the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, and the University of South Carolina, all of which were deemed to be hoaxes. We're expecting an update soon from Shaler's police chief after a parent found a gun on her son's bed this morning. The mother and son got into an argument and the son fled. He's yet to be found. This led to screening measures being enacted at Shaler Area High School this morning, and police are still telling the public to avoid that area. Investigators are examining the videos, writings, and movements of the shooter who fired through the windows of a Catholic church in Minneapolis, killing 2 children and wounding 17 people. They're looking for connections to the church and its school to understand the motivation behind the attack. Police Chief Brian O'Hara says Robert Westman fired dozens of rounds toward Annunciation Catholic school students sitting in the pews during Mass on Wednesday morning. When speaking to CBS News, the chief explained more into the investigation.
We have not been able to narrow down a specific motive in this case, but we have seen, just countless pieces of evidence that indicate a whole wide variety of hate towards various individuals and various groups of people.
A local pastor is calling for stronger security in schools after yesterday's incident. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has that story.
Father Tom Berg, pastor of St. Joachim and Ann Parish in Elizabeth, says the Pittsburgh Diocese is leading the way with providing armed officers at its schools.
The officers have such a great rapport with the kids and the faculty and the staff and the parents. It's just an extra security blanket and extra comfort, even as a priest and as a pastor that says Mass for our school kids. It's a nice little reassurance. Hey, somebody's there to help me.
Father Berg says during this time he will comfort his school children by informing them to remain vigilant. Every day should be a good day and be hopeful. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On a happier note, a Canadian man dug through a landfill and found his wife's missing wedding rings. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace has that story.
Janine Van Ysseldijk's rings had fallen down the drain in a restaurant bathroom, joining the restaurant's compost. Her husband, Steve, learned which British Columbia landfill the compost was taken to and started digging.
He said, "Let me try." I said, "Okay."
Denny Webster was operating an excavator and pointed Steve to the latest compost delivery.
My brain was trying to figure out a way to tell him to go buy his wife new wedding rings.
After just 1 hour, Steve found both rings.
It's not the money. It's the sentimental value.
It's the money. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 9 points. The Nasdaq is 82 points higher, and the S&P 500 is also up about 8 points. KDKA Sports, the Cardinals and Pirates will finish their series this afternoon in St. Louis. Our pregame coverage right here on News Radio KDKA starts at 1:20. KDKA Radio News Time 103. That's time to call Blueberry Pharmacy to save and stop paying too much at your pharmacy. Right now around Pittsburgh, it's mostly sunny at 74 degrees. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
All right, Patrick, you ate at Hofstad's about a week ago. How good was it?
Amazing.
Right?
Delicious.
And he's a food snob. So add to that, Hofstad's has prime rib Mondays. My boy, the restaurant king, JK. Prime rib Mondays, Hofstad's. Dry rubbed, slow roasted, hand carved prime rib with au jus. I love saying that. Au jus. 2 sides. Mondays, Hofstad's, Oakmont, 4 to 9. Prime rib, brothers and sisters. Go for it.
Get ready for a Pittsburgh tradition this fall. The 42nd annual Family House Polo Match presented by FNB is back. Saturday, September 6th at Hartwood Acres. Experience the thrill of professional polo. Stroll through a vintage car show. Enjoy food trucks, live music, kids' activities, tailgating, and more. Bring your friends, your coworkers, clients, or the whole family. Kids 12 and under get in free. It's a day of fun to help provide safe, affordable lodging for patients and families. Learn more at familyhouse.org/polo. See you on the field.
Hi, it's Lynn Hayes Freeland. You know, 90th anniversaries are a big deal. That's why AARP is joining forces with Social Security to celebrate its 90th anniversary. So what does that mean to you? Well, there are going to be free events throughout the area where you can win some prizes, learn more about Social Security, and find out what AARP is doing to help you. So how do you get more information? It's real simple. Go to aarp.org/local.
Experts at UPMC are revolutionizing robotic heart surgery every day.
Robotics is the most advanced version of heart surgery. We can do very complex procedures inside the chest without opening it.
UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute is pioneering minimally invasive cardiac surgery techniques, including robotic surgeries.
It's an obligation to innovate for patients to be treated better.
Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A cool afternoon for this time of the year with sun and clouds. There can be a gusty shower or thundershower in a small fraction of the area, the high 70. Partly cloudy tonight, low 50. Partly sunny tomorrow, high 73. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-240-1465. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now, 800-240-1465.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-240-1465. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-240-1465 or oxcarcare.com.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
It's a hell of a ride. What have we learned? I'm not sure, though. We're going to end the way we started. The best we can do is the best we can do. And that is wake up and look at the man in the mirror. What is my responsibility? To the people I have responsibility over, to the people I have responsibility to. Who would those people be? My immediate family. What's going on in my house? Does someone in my house need engagement? Does someone in my house need help. Does someone in my house have issues that I won't talk about? I know a significant number of parents that don't talk to their kids about significant issues. Hey, I ain't Dr. Phil and I ain't Dr. Ruth, and I'm surely not Judge Judy. However, through my own way, I learned from my mother and father, we communicate with our kids. Are we perfect? No, man. Are kids perfect? Hell no. I'm a pain in the ass. However, for the most part, we talk a lot. For the most part, we monitor their cell phones. For the most part, we monitor their friendships. For the most part, we see their social media. Do they get in trouble? Do they have friends in trouble? Oh yeah. Yeah, they have. All of my kids at one time or another have told me they have friends they're worried about. Suicide, anxiety, depression. And let me say this, just in our little world, more girls than boys. Just what I hear. The pressure on them to thrive, to be perfect, in the bubble, to be beautiful, to be athletes, to be smart, to go to that school or this school, to have this car or that car. It's tough, man. Do some of them weaponize their feelings? Hell yes. It was last year when I was live on the air, when my phone started blowing up calls from my kids. Dad, everyone's running from the school because the kid said he's coming up here to hurt people. Mount Lebanon cops have cops on the scene already. They intercepted the kid, addressed the problem. Is it perfect? Hell no. But they acknowledged that it was a crisis and they managed it the best they could. And no one was hurt. We have this tendency to lock down when something like this happens. So we fixate on this particular issue. So today's particular issue is we got to lock down the churches. Okay. But there's 70 other structures where there have been shootings. You name it, they've had mass shootings. We can't get everyone a gun, and we can't take every gun away. It ain't happening. It can't happen. It's the man in the mirror. Go ahead, Bill. Thanks for calling in, man.
Hey, Marty. Yeah, I caught some of your comments. Was it Ron Layton you were talking to?
Yes, sir. My man.
When I was on the way into the gym this morning. And, I mean, a lot of people are going to kind of hone in on the transgender aspect. I don't think that's entirely accurate because a lot of people, there's typically counseling as part of the process. And I think this person had a lot of bigger problems than just being transgender.
But hold on. I looked up the data. This is actually a fascinating call. They're 5 times more likely to get assaulted than to assault someone. They get arrested. They get arrested, quite frankly, twice as frequently as regular folks. And oftentimes it's because they're involved in an assault because of their transgender nature and the conflict it creates. But this notion that they're out there shooting everyone is a flat-out, bald-faced lie, and the facts tell that. Go ahead.
Yep, and I agree, but this is where you made a good point about within your own family, trying to stay on top of what's going on with your kids. Right. And I know technically if they're over 21, it might be a little gray area if they're living in the house.
Well, hold on, my man. We had to go to a lawyer and get special legal permission so that if our daughters get sick at college, they'll tell us what's wrong with them. It's that dicey right now, man. It's dicey, brother.
And I think I mentioned one of my emails last night, as far as the involuntary psych commitment, what's called a 302 in Pennsylvania. That may be in a little bit of a gray area as far as that goes. It may or may not be reportable. And I asked one of my friends who's been an FFL, firearms licensee, a 304 commitment is considered a reportable. They cannot report what specifics of the commitment, but they can just report fact of the commitment because the 304 involves a court adjudication. And,
nice.
And so it has extra legal protection. But again, that's where, whether it's a friend, a coworker, family member, if you see or hear certain sufficiently specific things on their part, that's where you need to step in. And it can, and I think I've told you my own experience with my late brother, like back in the mid-'90s when he threatened to kill himself and told me how he was going to do it. I was on the phone to the Stowe, Ohio police in about 30 seconds, and that basically kept him alive for another 10 years before he finally did it. But what I didn't know the second time was he'd gone to the bridge where he eventually jumped like a day or two before, and one of his AA buddies talked him down, brought him in. I would have considered that a blatant, flashing, red light warning, like, okay, you gave this information, you engaged in this behavior, you need to be in a hospital.
He's right.
And basically,
you're right.
Even the first time.
You're right.
Even the first time around. Yep.
You're right. It's a hell of a phone call, and you're a hell of a man, and I love your passion. I love the fact that you're honest enough and brave enough to tell the damn truth. And I'd talk to you forever. We got to take a break. We got to go to baseball. Pirates, all right? Bill, you're my man. You're welcome here anytime, brother. I love it. Truth to power, man. Truth.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Let me tell you about this new Pretzel Cheddar Club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things